All right.
Perry?
Gina.
No, not Richie.
Hey! Oh my gosh, you just made my entire day. I'm done. I'll give you the gift. I'm done now. You did that? I'm out of here.
So, well, first of all,
Yes.
on this.
On this day. You know, there's a hashtag for this.
There's an on this day did you start it?
I did not start
Oh.
it. It's just your your hashtag
Yeah.
OTD.
Oh.
Capital letter.
I did not know that.
Yeah. On this day.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Ed Brass's Lord and Savior Jimi Hendrix died.
Oh.
In 1970.
It was the drugs. We were talking about Jim Morrison last week
Uh-huh.
and how...
Did you pay up to Nick, by the way? Because we
No.
were talking about
Oh.
the Doors.
Yeah, I
right.
owe him $4.
Yep.
Talking about the Doors and how if Jim Morrison were alive today, he'd be like, fat and obnoxious and playing out at Wendover, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix were alive today, that would not be the case.
No.
He would be arena Jimi Hendrix.
He probably still would be, wouldn't he? How old would he be? Do we do the math?
How old would he have been?
Let me see.
Or how old was he when he died?
Let me look.
I just know I got one guy complaining that he's listening on a little handheld single speaker Radio Shack style radio, and he's got no vocals on the track.
Hendrix would be 75.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, he would be selling out arenas.
Because of the way that was mixed, sir, the vocal was on one side.
Blame Jimmy
Yeah.
for that.
I hate that too. Even in my stereo car, I hate that. All right.
Yeah, so Bill, we got a text
Yes.
from Bill yesterday, which his voice was already going last week, and then he did the Out of the Darkness
Yeah.
thing on Saturday, and he texted us yesterday and said, I have no voice.
And I'm sure he was probably yelling at the TV, the U game,
No, I don't.
or the Real game
No,
then. Okay.
no, no.
You what? That's
was-
probably how he lost
He
his
didn't
voice.
waste his breath at the BYU game. That's for sure. Come on. All right, fine.
We'll talk about it in sports.
Sports is coming up with Amy Donaldson.
Um,
With Clubber Amy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she's a boxer.
She's a boxer now.
So yeah, Bill, although he got up and he doesn't trust me to pick boner candidates,
Well, if you want to do it, Gina.
Well, he knows how you'll do it.
I do it fine. So Bill Allred cares about you, friends of the program, so much that he got up this morning and curated a list of boner candidates for you, which I will present for him. But I'll do the news.
All right.
Which means I got sports, weather, and traffic.
Yeah. And we need your check-ins, so we still need you to check in. Maybe you're like Bill. Maybe you don't have a voice, so you can still try to check in. 33986 is our text line. 877-602-9696 is our phone.
And one lucky check-inner will win a couple passes to the Salt Lake Comic-Con coming up this weekend. I'll tell you about that here in a minute.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's see. I'm just checking on stuff. All right. We're good.
We're good?
good?
We're all right.
We're all right.
I think we're okay.
Do you want me to do
As
traffic?
far as I can tell. If you want to do traffic
Well,
here.
I'll just mention this real quick as we make our way down through Parley's. There is a rolled over semi around Lambs Canyon on the left-hand side, so it's not affecting anyone really except the driver. But as your commute increases this morning, that will be a mess coming out of Parley's. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Because it takes a while to get those trucks moved. That'll be a while. All right, it's 6:09 then. We'll be back with your check-ins. Stand by for that, 877-602-9696. Hoops Vision Correction. Summertime, winding down. There's still time for one more fun adventure. Whether it's a last-minute getaway, an outdoor concert, or a Friday night on the patio with friends. Being outside here in Utah, nice, right?
Right.
Without the glasses, even better. So it's time to talk LASIK. It's time to talk to Hoops Vision. So imagine spending the rest of this summer free from those contact lenses or glasses. I hated that. I still remember it in the morning, you'd get up and you'd open up the little cups with the fluid and the contacts and
For me, it would be the thing of remembering to have the contact solution or remembering to bring my glasses. I've never had them, but I know that I couldn't do it.
You would be one who would forget to take the contacts out.
Yes.
And that's a painful situation. So you need to talk to them. Hoops Vision, they'll work with you to create a payment plan that makes LASIK affordable for your budget. Your first appointment is absolutely free. So go in and talk to them, 877-30-LASIK. That's 877-30-LASIK, or go to hoopsvision.com. That's HOOPES vision.com.
X96 invites you to enter to win a Real Salt Lake.
I made a big mistake. Well, I didn't. It had to be done at some point. I haven't gotten on the scale, weighed myself, that is, since. So I had some back surgery to relieve some pressure on, excuse me, on the nerves in my back, and that has made it difficult for me to. Well, it's made it impossible for me to do any exercise. And I exercise a lot, usually.
Uh-huh.
And then I went on vacation.
Well, sure.
And
You don't ever weigh yourself after vacation.
and you always put on a little weight on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lack of exercise for a month, and then going on vacation for however many days to Hawaii, which involved a lot of
Pineapple? Drinking.
a lot of
Empty calories.
empty calories. Thank you. That would you please? Damn it, Gina! Could you start with the euphemisms? Would you not zero right in on the problem? Start with the euphemisms. I mean, I say, oh, is Aunt Flo here? You know, I don't say what, John the Rag. You having a period?
Trying to be funny?
Start with the euphemisms, please.
Before the reality?
Yeah, don't let
right.
the reality just don't smack me in the face with it, please. So, 10 pounds since the last time I weighed myself.
So in a month you've gained 10.
I think I'd have to look and see when that surgery
You don't
was.
look like you've gained 10 pounds.
Oh, I sure feel like it. And I don't. Really? No?
You look fine.
I think you always say that though, because I don't know, why does she always say that? Because I don't think it's true.
I'm sorry, I was chasing down things that we have to
I'm sorry.
take care of here. I'm trying to fix the show. That's all.
She always says you look fine. I think it's you say that either because you don't really look at me or at people, because I look at you. And I wouldn't say that about you.
I didn't ask your opinion on how I look
I
or how
didn't.
much weight I gained on my vacation.
I didn't ask yours either. You just offered it. I didn't ask your opinion.
Okay, I won't say you look fine. I start out saying something nice when I get in trouble for
Well,
that.
I don't think I look. I think you can tell I've put on 10 pounds. Can't you, Carrie?
Gina, watch and learn. Really?
Can you tell that I put on 10 pounds?
You hide it well.
But you can tell, can't you?
No.
You can't?
No. I also don't look at you very closely.
Let's see. I believe that.
It's true. I don't look at anybody very closely.
I know. I
keep my head down. I do my job. I get out.
I look at people too closely.
Yeah, would you quit looking at me so closely?
I'm sorry. How's your eye?
It's better.
Is it really?
It doesn't-
That's what you said. That's what you said when it wasn't.
But now it's just crusty, not puffy.
What did your husband
Now
say
we're
now that he's seen you? Did he, when he got home and looked at it, did he go, "My God, why didn't you go to the doctor?"
No, he's still saying it's fine, so it's fine. It's scabby.
I think that if you had FaceTimed him,
Yeah.
he would have looked at it and went, "Oh God,
Yeah.
Boots,
No,
get
he
in
was,
there."
He was with me all weekend, and it was fine.
But so again, he doesn't look at you very closely. He just keeps his head down and does his job when he's with you.
Which I'm glad that he doesn't notice I've gained weight.
No,
so
he just keeps his head down and does his job.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for like check-ins.
Yes.
Which we need.
Which we're doing right now.
877-602-9696. I need to officially begin the show, though.
Yes.
Well, officially beginning the show brought to you by Get Unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with the Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
It is Monday, the 18th day of September. In the year of our Lord 2017, which reminds me, I need to find a Z word of the day.
Yeah, you're supposed to have it
I'm supposed to have it. I forgot about that.
Hold on, I'll help you.
It's the Radio from Hell show with the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson. Bill Allred is not here. He doesn't have a voice. I bet he's listening, though, because he was up.
He's smart. He went back to bed.
So sorry, Bill. Me, Gina Barberi, executive producer Richie T. Stedman, not my Richie, is going to be helping out on the show today with the weather and traffic and sports when Amy's not here. Dylan is producing video, x96.com/live. You can see that there. It accompanies the show. It augments the show. Katie for short is answering your phone calls right now, especially if you want to call and check in, 877-602-9696. Oh, the moon? It's a waning crescent moon. That's what my phone says.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up on my
And what percent of
I don't know. It's a sliver.
You're not...
A little bit.
I don't have that on my phone.
All right.
Your Z word?
Yeah.
Zoa. Zoa is the whole product of one fertilized egg.
Like spermatozoa?
Yeah, but Zoa for short.
That's that could be a name.
Yeah, go down to Utah County, yell out Zoa, at least 4 kids.
Here's your September word of the day.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's begin the check-ins. The least popular, or not least popular, the most hated feature that we have ever
I don't know
ever
why.
done. I don't know why either.
We just want to know what you're doing today.
So just call in.
Sup? We could call this feature.
No, we couldn't.
Sup?
No,
If we were really hip, yeah. Justin. Hi, Justin.
How are you?
We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
How are you, Justin?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing my morning rituals, drop my fiance off of work, and then I play Pokemon Go until I go to work.
Oh, we've talked to you before, haven't we?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. I wasn't going to call in today, but I heard there was a chance to win Comic-Con tickets, and unfortunately, this is the first year I have to miss Comic-Con because I can't afford it. So I figured I'd roll the dice.
Oh, well, keep trying because we're giving them away all week.
Then I will be calling in all day every week.
So, yeah,
All
so
day,
keep trying.
all week.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them to give away, so just keep listening and keep
Will
trying.
do.
So, all right. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you. Let's go to Trent, who actually won the Comic-Con tickets.
Trent, do you feel bad for the other guy?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
You
no.
don't have to.
It's okay to say
You
no.
don't have to.
Did you hear him? It's not my problem. Let me read this real quick.
Okay.
He won passes to the Salt Lake Comic Con. It's at the Salt Palace Convention Center. It's this weekend, the 21st through the 23rd. Elijah Wood, Dick Van Dyke, Val Kilmer, John and Joan Cusack. You can get your tickets at saltlakecomiccon.com. But some of them are sold out, so you have to listen to us to win them.
So, Trent, what do you have going on today?
Right now, I'm trying to find the TSA application thing so I can get to work at the airport, smoking a cigar, and drinking my coffee.
Cigar first thing in the
Nice.
morning.
That's bold.
Yeah.
Do you
I
ever?
haven't smoked a cigarette in 30 days, so I'm doing pretty good.
So you're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Well, because you don't inhale, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see the transition. Yeah, are you going to go vaping next, or what are you going to do?
No, cigars are better.
Okay. Are you gonna stop the cigars at some point?
Maybe.
Nope, Gina, you can't tell him what to do.
No, I'm just wondering what the plan is.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. You're not my mother. Speaking of cigars, though, it just happened to be on like one of those Retroplex channels or something. But Cape Fear, the one with Robert De Niro, and Max Cady is the character, and he's always smoking this ridiculously large cigar.
Yeah.
And I just
big old fat stogie.
It did not look real. It was so big around. It had girth. It was just ridiculous how
'Cause he's
big
tough.
this thing was. Because I don't know what point they were trying to make, but watch that movie again. Not only is he terrific in it, I mean the whole cast is great. But if you got an eye for film, watch it again because Martin Scorsese ripped off everything Alfred Hitchcock ever did when he did that film.
Really?
Yeah. So many Hitchcock looks in that film.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. Thank
thanks,
you.
Trent.
Thank you, Trent.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Let's go to is this Trevin? Trevin, is that your name?
Hello?
That is me.
All right.
You know Trevin, Kerry. He's been in the studio before.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
That could be another
I'm
Trevin.
insulted,
Why?
Carrie, you don't remember me.
No, there's only one Trevin, and I remember now.
No. Yeah, that's right. Well, good morning, Lord, Lady, and Richie.
Oh.
Can I be the Duchess?
Yes.
Okay, Richie the Duchess. Whatever you want. This is your day.
Oh.
Anyway, I am on my way to Portland. So I thought I'd just call in and
What's happening in Portland? Just vacation or you got business?
Well, I got business. No, I'm just taking a trip. Unfortunately, I lost my job last week, so I have time, have a little money, and I'm just taking a trip to get away.
All right, that sounds nice.
Well, maybe you'll find a job in Portland.
Maybe.
Take a little bit of extra stuff just in case.
Yeah.
Huh?
Take your toothbrush.
I will, just for you.
All
Good
right.
luck, Trevin.
Thank you, Trevin. All right. Let's see. We got some texts and chat room people checking in. You got something?
We have the Hafrican checking in. Welcoming you guys back. Hope you had a good weekend. Starting my Thursday with my 7 on pharmacy folks. 7 on, 7 off.
Our friend Tawna from St. Louis is trying to get through. Because she's a news photographer.
That's a mess.
Yeah, so she's going to try to get through to talk to us. Jim checking in late from Clearfield after getting hassled by the man. Clinton cops think I drive erratically.
Oh, and in a follow-up, Trooper S is checking in. I sure could use those tickets. Sorry, Trooper S. We gave them to Trent.
Like I
I'd
said,
call, but it's hard with everything going on. Thanks for making working with idiots easier.
We've got more to give away. I think we even have more this morning to give away. Pauline checking in. So happy about no more lane split northbound I-215. Yay! Only requires 60% trying today.
Just checking in. Air traffic controller heading into the control tower.
Emily checking in from Virginia. VA hospital. Oh, VA hospital. I'm sorry. Back from my work trip from Boston. Just need to get to Friday when I leave for London.
Wow.
Jealous. Heading to a math exam. I need you to give it your all for me. Yeah, we can't be any actual math help for you.
No. Sorry. Let's see. All right. Let's go to Tawna. Hi, Tawna.
Good morning.
How crazy is it there in Kansas? Is it St. Louis where you are?
St. Louis, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was, when the verdict came down of the Stockley verdict of police officers, and this even happened pre-Ferguson, when the shooting happened, like 2011. Everything was fine. Demonstrators downtown. The cops had a 2-block buffer for the protesters so that nobody would drive into them. And after my reporter and I were targeted, SWAT came in, and it's just been downhill since then.
What do you mean you were targeted?
Well, so my reporter and I, who's been in the news for decades, we were, right by the protesters, and I was joining some other fellow photographers that were up on this little wall, and I turn around and one guy targets my reporter, and he starts calling him out you've been down here for 30 years reporting on these murders, and then little mob mentality kicked in, and they surround him, and I get down off the wall, and I get in between him and my photographer, or him and my reporter, and I'm like, whoa, and they're like, get out, and they start swearing and cussing at us and getting in his face, and so we start walking off, and they're throwing water bottles at him, and I'm walking backwards, recording all of it on my camera, and at one point they surround him, and I had a fellow coworker that ended up joining me, and we actually had to go inside and grab his arm and pull him out because they had surrounded him.
2017.
Yep.
Did you get any of that?
Oh, I got all of it on camera. And
Okay.
It's got like 16,000 views here locally. I sent links to it to you guys to X96.
Oh.
It's just it's insane, and their whole purpose and their whole purpose is to financially disrupt St. Louis until till talks are made. And the U2 concert was canceled.
Yeah,
Ed Sheeran was canceled.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw Spencer Cox was supposed to be going to
Going
that.
to see you too there. Yeah.
Hey, what's your kitty's name?
See, I actually have a cat that meows in the background.
What's your
So for the record, Carrie, you'll appreciate this. My dog, who's a Buceron, his name is Thor.
Oh, there you go.
And my cat, who came to me with this name, which is kind of fitting, his name is Hades.
Hades.
Thor and Hades.
Wow.
All right.
Thor and Hades.
Yeah,
My son's name is Thane, Thayne.
Oh.
So Thane and Thor get called each other's names all the time.
I just got a text. Are you playing the cat meowing, or is that really
No,
happening?
no, that's.
So there you go.
my cat is so loud. And when he really wants something, he's like screaming at me.
Hey.
Well, listen, Tawna, be careful on the streets of St. Louis.
We are. I'm back on the streets today, but they were scared. Like they pulled all of us off the streets.
I don't blame
Nobody was in by the demonstrators. We flew the helicopter most of the time at night to show what was going on. They targeted Mayor Cruz's house. They were 3 miles away Saturday night here at the Del Mar Loop in University City. I mean, it got they're not going to stop.
Nope.
I don't think for some time.
All right. What station do you work for, Tawna?
I'm with Fox 2 News.
All right.
Thanks, Tawna.
Send me that video again and we'll share it. It's Richie, RICHIE at X96.com and we'll share it out.
RICHIE
at X96.com. Yep.
All right.
Got it.
Thank
I
you,
will do
Tawna.
that.
Be careful. All right.
Okay, bye, guys.
We'll see you. Trevin, are you calling back, or is
Different Trevin?
Well, there's only one Trevin.
This is a different Trevin.
No, there's only one Trevin. He was here in the studio, and I know him.
Well, I want to know how old that other one is. I'm pretty sure I'm the first one.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know how old? Do you have an idea?
He's probably 40, maybe 41. How old are you, Trevin?
Oh, I'm like 33 then.
Yeah,
so
no.
he got me beat. Dang
All
it.
right, so
You're
watch
baby
it.
Trevin
Watch
from
it.
now on.
Yeah, you're baby Trevin. That's your check-in nickname now. All right.
What do you have going on
Not
today?
unique.
All right. We got to go.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Nope,
see ya.
that's it.
That's really all we have time for,
Okay.
pretty much. Let's see. Just a final Daniela, the night nurse. Let's see. Here's Mike taking his 2 boys to swim practice.
It's cold for swim practice. Oh, it's probably inside.
Indoor.
And everybody was convinced that I was playing the cat
No.
sound effect. That's just hilarious to me.
Quick look at traffic. I mentioned earlier there is that rolled over semi coming down out of Parley's Canyon. It's right by about Lamb's Canyon. So be aware that that is going on. That's not causing too much delay. There's a crash 2400 south at Bangerter Highway in West Valley. The 2 left-hand lanes eastbound are closed there. And that is all brought to us by celebrating autumn at Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Escape for the whole weekend with the Oktoberfest getaway package, including lodging, daily breakfast, and an all-day activities pass from just $105 per person per night. Get details at snowbird.com.
All right. Thank you very much. Coming up after this, Big Boy News, Opinnuendo. Also, Amy Donaldson with sports. We got to get a boxing nickname for her.
I like Clubber.
You like
That's
Clubber?
a good one, yeah.
You don't think people will get that confused with she likes to go to the club?
Oh. Boom Boom? How about Boom Boom?
Amy Boom Boom Donaldson.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. All right. So that's coming up after these. Stand by for that. Salt Lake Comic-Con is happening this weekend. And,
She could cosplay as Clubber Lang or you know.
I suppose. Yeah. The 5th annual Salt Lake Comic-Con happening this weekend, 21st to the 23rd at the Salt Palace Convention Center, of course. Some tickets are still available. You really should go to saltlakecomiccon.com and find out which ones are available and which ones are not.
Yeah, I saw there's some sold out days and times. And
A lot of celebrities there, of course. Hollywood legend Dick Van Dyke, Elijah Wood, Stephen Amell, Arrow.
The Cusack kids.
The Cusack family are going to be there. John and Joan on the stage at the same time, and you can meet them and talk to them later. They have booths set up. All of these celebrities do that. They have their booths set up, and you can get in line and meet them and get an
Picture
autograph. Picture and autograph, and then they go do these panels in the big ballroom, and everybody can see them there.
And the Geek Show's doing an event, too.
We are doing a live event on Friday nights at the con. So it's going to be fun. I've been asked to moderate the Gates McFadden Will Wheaton celebrity panel.
Wow.
I've been doing a little research on. Did you know Gates was a Rockette?
I had no idea.
Or she trained with them anyway.
Wow.
Or was that Will? I don't know. I get it confused.
You'll find out at the panel.
I'll do some more research and find out. But yeah, Val Kilmer's going to be there. SaltLakeComicCon.com is where you go for all the information. Presented by Wasatch Front Subaru Retailers and Subaru of America, Inc.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music reading.
I will read it to you.
It looks to be typewritten.
Yes.
Wow.
Typewritten, actual letter dated the 9th of October.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look
You're
at
a
it.
lucky girl.
Don't you wish you got more letters?
Oh, you bet.
Actual letters?
I sure do. The only thing that could make that
Email
better.
doesn't sound like this.
The only thing that could make that better is if that had been handwritten.
That's true.
Oh, that would have been really special.
Gina, I would ask you to think about a time before cell phones, blogs, Facebooks, and Twittering.
Back a time when people actually wrote letters.
A simpler time.
Yeah.
We raised our kids in the physical world.
Yeah.
We threw our money away on frivolously silly things. We pursued tangible hobbies, or at least had fun playing. We traveled where we wanted to, when we wanted to. The world was ours for the taking. And we had meaningful conversations with people who were important to us, either face-to-face or on the telephone.
Is this from your first boyfriend?
No. Those people, if they judged us at all, were polite enough to do so in a way that led to improvement.
Okay.
What has changed? Nothing, of course, but the perception is now that we have to record or display every aspect of our lives and activities and do it as quickly as possible.
Twitter.
Does it really matter if you learn that someone took her kids to the park last Tuesday? No. Are a million meaningless opinions any better than a few well-considered ones? No. Must you change your life to fit into the false standard propagated by people you don't even know?
No.
Of course not. The most dangerous trap to fall into is trying to be someone you're not, for whatever reason. For the love of all things irrational, Gina, just be yourself. It's what makes life worth living.
Stop twittering.
Sincerely, Martin Noonzert. P.S. Your bio on the X96 website is not up to date.
As I like to say, any clod can have the facts, but having an opinion is an art.
I guess I need to update my bio.
You know, you should scan that letter and put it on our website.
Yeah.
I should blog and Twitter about this letter.
Tweet.
A blog and Twitter.
Tweet. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. If you use Twitter, you tweet.
You tweet.
Why can't I Twitter it?
That's something that you should do in the privacy of your own bedroom.
Okay.
It's true.
When your husband's out of town.
Some more letters. I want more actual letters sent through the mail.
Well, give your address.
515 South, 7th East, Suite 1C, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84102.
If they're handwritten, it's even better. Or even better, if they're words cut out of magazines and pasted onto it. That's great.
Let me just say this to people writing letters to Gina. You may write them. You won't get them. She will.
No.
You're not going to take the time to return them.
No.
Yeah, email's a lot easier to
it is.
answer. And
Yeah. But go ahead, send her letters. Try not to use words like nonplussed. Okay.
I know nonplussed.
Now you.
Big boy news and opiniondo now. Sports with Amy Donaldson in a moment. News brought to you by...
At Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City, you get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty. Find them online at strongvw.com or call 800-NEW-CARS.
Gina, this first story for you. Thanks, Bill. That's nice of you to...
Please do the entire news like that. Oh, you're welcome.
You're wrong, Bill. You should... Workers at a coroner's office in Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains respond when someone dies under unusual circumstances. But lately, they've also had to respond to lurid allegations in a sex scandal that's generated 2 lawsuits and a police investigation. This is everything I love.
I'm
Sex
listening.
and coroners and... Allegations about the Monroe County Coroner's Office were laid out in recent court filings. Sex between a deputy coroner and a police officer at a death scene, stealing prescription drugs and other items from the deceased, an extramarital affair in the woods.
This is like a checklist of everything you could possibly do.
Carried out during the work hours, showing coworkers cell phones of a lover's male genitalia. All of that.
There's so much happening in the story. I'm having trouble.
Scandal at the coroner's office. Monroe County Coroner Bob Allen. For some reason in this story, they point out that he's a Republican.
Well, it's important.
Who's held the job for 25 years, insists this is all false and allegations, trying to hurt his re-election campaign in November.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
In a federal case filed August 24th by former deputy coroner Lauren Fizz, even the names in this are good.
I'm Lauren Fizz.
Allen and his wife, top aide Kathleen Allen, had taken office, including she's in charge of hiring and firing. The complaint alleges that Tracy Allen created a sexually hostile work environment by telling coworkers about her marital problems, her own infidelity, showing them obscene photos of one of her lovers, bragging about friends with benefits, and talking about needing to leave work early for a liaison in the woods.
A liaison? We're going to the woods? Get a room, for God's sake. No, the woods are fine.
Now, the chief deputy coroner said he turned down Tracy's advances made toward him in early 2016. He claims she became angry and kicked over a chair and tried to attack him when he denied her. This is just a crazy.
So he had to give it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess
because she might kick over another chair.
We're going to the woods.
You said it, though, at in the first part, they had sex at the crime scene?
At a crime scene.
At the crime scene, like, hey, we're investigating this. Man, I can't get away.
And then went into the bathroom and stole prescription drugs. Because the person's dead. They don't need them anymore. Great. Tragedy. Harry Dean Stanton.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one.
91. For me, Harry Dean Stanton is Molly Ringwald's dad.
Well,
from Pretty in Pink. That's who he is to me.
He's Repo Man.
Everybody has their own Harry Dean Stanton, Carrie.
For me, he's Brett from Alien.
Or he could be Roman Grant from Big Love.
Yes. Oh, he was really good in that.
Really good in Big Love.
That's the thing about him is that he could have been a bigger star. He just didn't like to work that much. He was offered TV series. He was offered all kinds of stuff, and he's just like, I just don't like to work that much.
I think he's got another film coming out.
He does, in about 3 weeks, I think.
Is it Lucky? Is that the...
Lucky.
Yeah.
And they're saying that he's not only the star of the movie, but he's turning in a hell of a performance, as usual.
It's the journey of a 90-year-old atheist and quirky characters that inhabit the off-the-map desert town.
So it's the Harry Dean Stanton story, essentially.
And everybody that worked with him loved him. And now, I had him...
Escape from New York.
I had him on my Deadpool list.
You did?
So, and I brought this in, and I gave it to Dylan, too. He can put it up at x96.com/live.
There we go.
I had Harry Dean Stanton on my Deadpool, and then I crossed out And I put Mariah Carey, and then I crossed her out. But I just wanted to show you that
at one
I
point,
had a feeling that this could be the year for Harry Dean Stanton, and I changed my mind. These are the heartbreakers when you, because you've had that too.
I did the same with Adam West.
Circle. So do I get half points?
No,
Frank Christ.
It's all up to Frank, really. I don't think you do though.
Maybe in a tiebreaker. That could be like a tiebreaker.
Yeah, in a tiebreaker, I feel like you could.
Because there's not that many points for Harry Dean Stanton anyway.
He was 91.
Do we need to explain the Deadpool?
Yes, you do.
So at the beginning of the year, we pick 10 celebrities we think are going to die in the year. Mm-hmm. And Carrie, how does the point system work?
100 is the cutoff. So with Harry Dean Stanton, because he's 91, he would be 9 points.
So what you want to do is you want to pick an early death.
Yeah.
That's why it's terrible and morbid.
Yeah.
You want to pick an early death of someone, be right, and get lots of points.
Like I've got Corey Feldman on here. He's not that old, so he would be a get.
If he were to happen, Gina would win the game pretty much automatically. I'm currently in the lead.
You are. But I'm close. I've got Charlie Manson. He's been in and out of the hospital.
You are, but I got Stan Lee.
And
again, I had to pick people I liked. I thought that was the thing we were doing this year, was picking people you liked.
Which is why you picked Adam West and then crossed him off.
Yeah. Well,
Adam West is dead?
Yes, he passed.
Yes.
He has passed.
A man was in an emergency room lobby and called 911 asking for an ambulance. Let me say that again. He was already in an emergency room lobby.
Calling 911.
Calling 911, asking for an ambulance to take him to another hospital.
Oh.
Vandrick Williams, 45, was at a Tallahassee hospital about 1:15 a.m. when staff told an officer in the emergency room he was being disruptive. The officer asked Williams to calm down and stop disrupting other patients, according to court records. Williams was argumentative but agreed to stop. About 35 minutes later, a nurse told the officer at the ER that someone had called 911 and would not identify himself but said he needed a ride to another hospital. Another officer arrived at the hospital, made contact with Williams. He said he called 911 because he needed to go somewhere else because they weren't listening to him. Go somewhere else. So Bill put together our boner candidates today, and I wasn't sure what he was going to put in, and he didn't put this one, so I'm just going to do it as a news story. An amateur interpreter for the deaf.
Oh, people are pissed about this.
Was tapped at the last minute to provide sign language during a press conference, and things got out of hand.
Oh, no.
Before Hurricane Irma ripped through Florida, Manatee County leaders were prepping to address the public with crucial information. That's when, quote, in a pinch, they called Marshall Green to communicate using sign language. Green is a lifeguard for the county. It was one of those things where they said, does anybody know sign language?
And the guy's like, he probably was like, well, kind of. Perfect. You.
So this is Hurricane Irma. They're saying, you need to evacuate, you need to get water, you need to, whatever the things you need, the crucial information, here's where the shelters are. Mm-hmm. Apparently he began signing words like pizza and bear and monster.
And people are pissed about this.
He apparently has a brother who's deaf.
Okay.
And so he sort of knows sign language, but not really.
Right.
So they called him.
But did he think no one would notice that he was not? You see deaf people watching that going, wait, there's monsters in the hurricane?
Monsters and
pizza?
pizza?
Here's pizza? And
it was all hands on deck.
bears,
You give him a break.
And no, you say, no, I can't. No, come on, sign. Just come in here and sign. But it's funny to watch knowing that there's video clips of it.
And they caption what he's actually saying. It's really funny to watch. Weather traffic?
Weather brought to you by Hoops Vision. Call them today for your free LASIK consultation. It's your life. See it better. Take control and make the call today. 877-30-LASIK or hoopsvision.com. Well, if you like fall, enjoy yesterday, today, and tomorrow because it'll be winter again.
I wanted a little more fall than that.
High today of about 80 degrees, but then as we go into tomorrow, it's like 63.
We'll be in the 50s by Friday, actually.
So,
as a high, not Not as a low as a high.
So hopefully we can get a couple more days of fall out of that. But the colors, if you've had a chance to be up one of the canyons, starting to be really gorgeous. And then traffic. Again, still have that rolled over semi coming out of Parley's Canyon. It's the westbound I-80 right by by Lambs Canyon. That's causing a little bit of delay. The accident 2400 south at Bangor Highway in West Valley. They're expecting to have that cleared up by about 7 o'clock. And a new accident southbound I-15 in Davis County around 200 north. It is there on the right lane, and it's causing between 5 and 10 minutes delay. And that's your traffic.
Thank you very much. Sports brought to you by
Amy Donaldson here. Amy Boom Boom Donaldson.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Is Boom Boom an okay boxing name for you?
Well, my dad was a Boom Boom Mancini fan, but I have a boxing name.
Oh, okay.
The Nasty Woman.
The Nasty Woman.
Did you come up with that yourself?
Yeah, I did. Somebody else liked the Alaskan Assassin.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Well, all your best boxers have more than one nickname. They have a litany of them that they read before they.
That's because people keep giving you names and you don't really want them. I didn't mind Alaskan Assassin. No, that actually was from Bill Riley over at 700.
I like that.
Now explain to people what you were doing.
Yeah, it was for charity. And let's just get this, apparently some people find it ironic that we would box for a charity that helps women, especially women impacted by domestic violence. And it's not ironic at all.
No, it's empowering.
That assumes that everybody who participates in this, or that this is somehow indicative. When you help people, you don't do exactly what, you do what you do well to raise money for them. And I've been covering the fight community in boxing and MMA for almost 20 years. And a lot of them have experienced this as kids, and they raise money, and they're probably more aware and more involved in these charities than a lot of people in traditional sports. So it's not ironic, but also the Crittenden Foundation, which is who we're raising money for, does a lot more than just domestic violence. They help women who've been sexually exploited, just have had other kinds of issues in their childhoods, and they've been around since the late 1800s. And
the late 1800s, really?
Yeah. Sad that we're still
yeah.
And
where can we see this video?
You tweeted a link to your
to my story. I've got to figure out. My daughter cut up the video. She videotaped all of it since my mom's in Alaska and didn't get to see me. But so I'll try to figure out how to tweet that out through either my Instagram or on Twitter.
Yeah, we want to see it.
Richie grabbed that and
as soon as I see it,
we'll
tag
put it in our stuff.
I can even just send it to you so you can just put on this.
Great.
There's she got video of me. I did some evasive. I turned and ran because I couldn't breathe. I started laughing at one point.
I liked your Wonder Woman skirt.
Yeah. It was hard. It's a show as much as it was a athletic competition.
What was your entrance song?
Pink, So What.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
Tell a lot about a woman by her entrance song.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So where do we start with sports?
Where do you start with sports? There's a lot of sports. So I want to mention some winter sports since it is the Olympic year. Nathan Chen, born and raised here in Salt Lake City, returns to Salt Lake City on the ice sheet where he learned to skate and wins a gold medal in the first international competition of this Olympic season.
Nice.
So that was fun. And look for him. He's your reigning U.S. champion, and he's pushing the sport in a crazy way with these quads, and it's a ton of fun to watch.
Very athletic.
It was really fun to be there live to see him do that, and it should be a fun ride. And it may mean that more Salt Lakers want to watch figure skating. So it was very popular when it was here in the 2002 games. Colin Kaepernick. He was awarded the Player of the Week by the NFL Players Union for his charity work.
Can I do a mea culpa?
Yes.
What?
I hated Colin Kaepernick for a long time because I thought he was a punk.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I was mad when Alex Smith lost his job to him, which in hindsight was not Colin Kaepernick's fault. It was coach's fault. But
no, it's competition's fault.
and Colin, even back then, was pretty outspoken in stupid ways, if that makes sense. He would shoot his mouth off about all kinds of things. He has, since this whole, sitting down for the national anthem thing, and this is why he won this award, he's donated a ton of money to all different kinds of charities. He goes and speaks to kids. He's taken this time where he's not really working and tried to do so many good things with it.
Here's the thing about Colin Kaepernick that I think he's evolved into a better human being because of what he's doing. He's actually, when people criticized him for not doing enough in the black community, he said, you know what, you're right. And he went out and he did more in the black community. That's what I love about him, is that he takes he takes criticism, and instead of just hunkering down and you know, fighting back or whatever, or even criticizing in the same way. Because some of the people criticizing him don't do anything in their communities either.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what one of the women, somebody criticized us for boxing for domestic violence. I said, well, what are you doing for domestic violence?
Exactly.
You know, like he's out there doing stuff now. And I hope he plays again, that we have debates about whether or not he will. I hope he gets a shot, because there's some really crummy quarterbacks in the league right now.
I read that I think the Seattle players are supporting him by not standing.
Oh yeah, there's still players.
Yeah.
And it's
Good.
across the board. There's still players participating in that type of demonstration. Which, you know, after you see what happens in St. Louis, you think this is way better. This is a much better way to call attention to your cause. So and on the flip side, like you said, he's given a lot of money. There was a lot of what do they call it in sports? Walloping going on this weekend in college football. You had Utah walloping San Jose State 54-16. You had BYU getting walloped by Wisconsin in their first trip.
We lost our quarterback.
No,
you had a quarterback, and he's a good quarterback. So
that was not the only issue there.
Well, let's see. And this isn't Little League. One guy can't win for you. Weber State in the closest game of the weekend. They beat the Sacramento State Hornets 31-24. Utah State got walloped by Wake Forest 46-10. SUU won, and so did Snow College.
Yeah.
All right.
And BYU beat women in volleyball.
Take that, Utah.
Yeah. So you know.
So this
you
win,
can have that.
This win for Utah, is it important? Does it put them in a position?
It's a win, and that counts. But the real games don't count till
it was a crummy team. They got 500 yards of offense. They held the Spartans to 30 yards of offense. And now they're 3-0 going into conference play. They have 9 straight Pac-12 games
and
now.
These will all be hard.
They play at Arizona on Friday, and now you're going to see what they're really made of.
So now it gets serious.
Let's keep in mind they had 3 turnovers against San Jose State. So not good, but hopefully better. And
but my sports crush, I've been assigned a new sports crush. And actually, Tom Hackett assigned him to me. I said I need a new one because is Mitch Wisnowski, who.
I'm going to say that's an upgrade. No.
Who
Having been
had this amazing play?
Yeah.
So he's going to punt the ball, Gary, and you punt. You kick with your.
He knows what a punt is.
I know a punt.
You kick with your right foot. You know, you receive the ball and you kick it, and it was kind of a bungled snap.
It was low.
And then the defense is coming toward him. So he starts running laterally to the side and just throws it up and kicks it with his left foot and keeps it in bounds and kicks it most of the way down. It was an amazing play.
I tweeted a video if you want to see why she's gushing about.
It's really
cool.
It
was impressive. But I mean, you watched it and it was like the dude is very athletic. He had what I think is more impressive, a shoestring tackle of
last game,
in the last game. The kid was going to get away, and you never see. If you see a punter get involved in a tackle, it's usually he gets knocked down.
And he went after him.
He caught him and tackled him. But yeah, he's
all right.
He doesn't have quite the sense of humor that Tom Hackett does. But as far as just having a crush from afar, I think you're doing okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to pretend like I'm interested in it.
He kind of looks like Thor.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Because
you put a hammer in his hand and get him a loincloth.
Yeah.
You got Thor.
Comic-Con's this weekend. Let's see. Of course, the big story you missed.
Yes, of course.
The big story.
Not me.
Well, you are a big sports story, but this is a big sports story. Bobby the Brain Heenan, dead. Tragedy.
Who?
Bobby the Brain
Heenan. WWE Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Managed all of the big Andre the Giant. He managed Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Big John Studd.
That's why he's the brain.
That's why he's the brain behind the wrestler.
He has no brawn.
73. high points if you had him on your Deadpool.
And if you're an Ohio State fan, which I know we have some,
one.
you should be sad today because Ezekiel Elliott only got 8 yards rushing against the Broncos.
Ezekiel Elliott shouldn't be playing.
Why? Because he's bad? We don't know.
Oh,
we
Ed.
don't know.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Oh,
Ed.
You're living with a Buckeye. It's
That's
clear
true.
to see.
It's difficult. Thank you, Amy Donaldson. Read her stuff at the Deseret News, deseretnews.com.
Quick look at traffic.
And as soon as we get that boxing video, we'll put it up.
We'll tweet it out at Radio From Hell. Quick look at traffic brought to you by Focus on the Road. There's nothing but the road. Sean Hogan and Everest Collision want you and your loved ones to get home safe and sound. Stop texting and driving. Download the Everest Collision app responsibly. New accident, 5600 West at 3500 South. It's northbound 5600 West, and it's causing some delays there. That's a main thoroughfare as you get to 201. Also, still the rolled over semi coming out of Parley's. That's westbound as you make your way down towards Salt Lake. And a new crash eastbound Riverdale Road at I-15 southbound. So it's causing some delays. You're trying to get on the freeway there southbound. That's traffic.
All right, thank you very much. We got round one of the boner votes, boner voting, picked by Bill.
Not me. I can't
Not
be
you.
trusted to pick
Oh,
boner
he-
candidates.
All right. Coming up, KXRK Provo.
3 days of live music, including Foo Fighters, The Killers,
Cold War Kids, live, LCD sound system.
Just a quick note here. Is a statistic for you. Only 1 out of 9 people say that they would donate, when they died, would donate their uterus for transplant.
Why only?
One
now,
out
are
of 9.
these people?
Only 1 out of 9 said that they would allow a family member to donate a uterus. They're doing uterus transplants in they're playing God in Russia or someplace like that.
Are these people that would donate other organs?
Yeah.
So you can have my eyes, you can have my kidneys.
Can't have my uterus.
Why?
Uterus donation, they think is. Oh, it was in Saudi Arabia. I think it was done. Doctors in Saudi Arabia. I guess they. I don't know. Okay, Gina, would you donate your uterus?
You can have whatever you want of mine when I die. Because guess what? I'm dead.
Richie's raised his hands.
I want your uterus.
You can have it, honey.
I'd keep it in a box. I'd use it for a catcher's mitt.
Please take everything's very well preserved.
I think people think it's just too creepy. Your uterus is well preserved.
Sure.
It's low mileage.
Only had
One
2
owner?
kids.
It's a one
I only
owner.
drive it to and from church on Sunday, and that's it.
Yep. Oh, okay. Good.
Please
Okay.
have it.
All right.
Take my uterus.
Radio from Hell with Utah's most trusted newsman, Bill Allred. Weekday mornings on X96.
Not today.
Today you are?
No, nobody trusts me.
No.
And you shouldn't.
Not even Bill. Bill
So
doesn't
then
even
it should
trust
be
you.
least trusted.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll have your most incomplete news today. That's what I'll have. Now, Bill lost his voice.
He had a big weekend, so
We don't know how he's staying home and not talking.
He was cheering at the Real game so loud, and
Yeah, we forgot to mention Real actually had a big win on Saturday. They beat Portland, which is huge.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It keeps them in possible playoff
Well,
contention. So big deal.
very good.
A few things before we get to this. One, if you did not listen to or watch the Out of Darkness broadcast on Friday, any of the social medias, X96, Radio from Hell, you can also find it at x96.com.
This is a suicide prevention thing.
Various topics around suicide. You can find that. Go take it's about an hour long, but it's really well done. Bill hosts it. It's really well done. Check that out. Also, since it's Monday, it's a brand new episode of Geek Show Podcast.
Oh, yes.
What's it called?
Let's see. It's Dead Man's Rum.
Okay. And then also a brand new episode of Let's Go Eat Show. And who is it?
It's the guests this time are Bill Allred and Trent Harris, talking about their new crazy movie. Their new talking about welcome to the
Bill,
rubber room.
The point I wanted to make with this film was that there's no point.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no point.
Out.
There's never a point.
No, it turns out he got really mad at a Bed Bath & Beyond. Trent Harris, he got really mad because a Bed Bath & Beyond built where a building he used to love was, and that's where this whole movie came from.
Huh.
But they
okay.
They talk about a lot of stuff.
All right.
They're
local
both,
weirdo Trent Harris.
And local weirdo Bill Allred.
Yeah, he is a local.
Yeah.
I need someone from the restaurant industry to weigh in on this and let me know the philosophy behind reservations, because
the philosophy is let us know you're coming and we'll make sure there's a table for
but
you.
No, I mean, whether you take reservations, you don't take reservations, because like Takashi does not take reservations.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the in-between.
What's in
which
between?
I encountered on Friday night.
I've never heard the in-between.
Here's the in-between. Is that new Mexican place in the Crane building there?
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
Pepin? Chili Pepin?
Yeah, It was good. But I called on Thursday. is I need to make a reservation for 4 people for Friday. Well, let me break it down for you.
Okay.
I need to make a reservation for 4 people. Oh, well, we got plenty of room.
Well, not right now.
Not for right now. I
coming later.
I want to do it for Friday. Oh, for Friday. Oh, okay.
Do you hear him like looking for a piece of paper? I guess I can.
I'm new here, so I'm gonna turn you over to my and before he could finish saying manager, the phone. Hello. Yes. As I like to make a reservation for Friday night. Okay, how many people? 4 people. We only take reservations for parties of 5 and up. And without skipping a beat, I went, okay, then for 5 people. and she quiet, for a second. And I said, I'll find somebody to come with us.
Is it really 5 people, or are you just saying?
I was lying.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure.
Because I want to make sure I get a table. I don't want to sit in the lobby and wait.
No.
I just want to sit down
and
eat.
Especially if you're going to dinner like before you're going to a show or something.
Yes.
You
dinner on a time schedule.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
need to make sure you get in and get out.
Now we did not have a time schedule except for me. I was the time schedule.
Okay.
I didn't want to sit and wait for a table. So that's what we did. We showed up and got right in, and I said, "Oh, our 5th just canceled on the way over. It hit the text just on the way over, so I'm so sorry." And so they split up the table, and we got in just fine. It just seemed odd to me because there were plenty of tables all throughout the restaurant, but yet the lobby was filled with people waiting to get in.
That's weird.
So I just, and it's not just them I'm talking about. It's like every restaurant has a different policy about reservations.
No,
and
like,
I don't.
I hate the policy where they say your entire party has to be here before we seat you. Right?
Yeah, and what's
like
up with that?
Like you have 5 people coming and 4 of you were there.
Yeah,
they won't.
Why can't I sit down and have some water?
No, we have to wait till your whole party's there.
I don't understand.
So I usually say, well, they're parking the car. They'll be right in, or they're.
Now, see, us doing that, we freed up, because it was 2 tables put together, we freed up in another table, and a couple got right in next to us right after us. So, and these were people waiting in the lobby.
So I know part of it. I know part of the reason why they let tables come in is because, at a slower rate, is because if everyone gets seated, right, you have a restaurant that's completely full, everyone gets seated, the cooks and everyone back, making the food, they can't make
everything at the same time.
100 dinners at the same time, and everyone got seated. So I know that they do some delay for that so that people can be seated. You're not going to be waiting an hour's worth of time for your food that's going to be cold because the chef is trying to do 100 things.
This is weird. Somebody just sent this text in. There's a new Taco Bell here in the UK. They freaking take reservations for tables and treat you like you're in a proper restaurant. They take your order from the table. They bring your food. It's a Taco Bell.
See, that's the UK. They're more sophisticated there.
Yeah.
The best reason I've ever heard for international travel. There's this new reservation thing that has been bugging me. That we were down in California recently on a trip looking for a place to go, trying to make a reservation. And it was... we only take reservations day of.
That's weird. See, again, I can't figure this out.
I don't understand that.
Because people make them days ahead and then forget they have a reservation?
Yeah,
I guess, or it's, I don't know.
I mean, so it's a delicate balance, right? Because if you are saving a table, keeping people in the lobby with a reservation, how many times have you made a reservation and not let the restaurant know that you're not going? Right?
I always call and cancel my reservations.
You probably always do.
Me, but most people don't.
Yeah.
But that's why they should say, we'll hold your table for 10, 15 minutes. And after that...
Right, but if you're Gina Barbarian, you come in at 17 minutes. Well, we had a reservation. We're 17 minutes. Like, I think that
I think at that point, you're sorry. Unless you call. And there have been times where I've called and said, I have a reservation at 7:30. We're running a little late, but we're on our way. Okay, then...
But see, I think we're reasonable people. I think that's the
few animals out there. But yeah, it's the no reservation that really kind of bothers me.
You can see why restaurants do that, though, because they don't want to deal with all this. If you're here and we have a table, you can sit down.
Yeah, I understand the no reservation. It's just laziness. Or not laziness. It's just I don't want to deal with it. People will fill up. My restaurant will be filled up no matter what. I'm not going to deal with it. In the case where there were, if you have a restaurant where maybe people would come if you made reservations, bring bigger parties or whatever, then that's not good.
And
but if your restaurant will fill up,
if you're Mary Claire, if you're my mom, she doesn't accept that restaurants don't take reservations.
Really?
Of course
no,
not.
she will call and they'll say, "Yeah, we don't take reservations," and she says, "No. We have 10 people coming, and I'm not coming to your restaurant unless I know I'm going to have it." She will argue with the manager until they say, "Well, okay, we can. If you come at this time, we probably can." She will make them take a reservation.
Wow. I'm not even as bold as that.
So, Carrie, next time you encounter that, I'll give you Mary Claire's number.
Yeah.
She'll
have
get
her
a
make
table for you.
That could be a new service that she could provide. She could make a little money on the side doing that.
She does not accept that restaurants.
If you can't get reservations, call me.
Yeah.
Also, for international travel in Mexico, you can get reservations at Pizza Hut. You can have dinner dates at the Pizza Hut. So, Carrie, even Mexico is advanced.
Even Mexico is
more
advanced. And our attorney Ed Brass chimes in. No reservations required at the Sears taco stand. He loves that taco.
Oh, but there should be, though. The line at that thing?
Yes, save your place on the sidewalk.
If I could call ahead and there's a reservation line that's shorter that could get me right to the
Fast
front of the
fast
taco
pass.
line.
Exactly.
A fast pass for the taco line.
We saved you this igloo cooler to sit on.
Yeah.
There should be an app for tracking, somebody tracking the lines at the different taco trucks.
Oh, that's a thing.
real time.
You keep throwing these ideas out there, and people are going to make money off of it, and you're going to get nothing.
Patent pending. Patent pending. Okay, got it. It's fine.
Quick look at traffic brought to you by Celebrating Autumn at Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Escape for the whole weekend with the Oktoberfest getaway package, including lodging, daily breakfast, and an all-day activity pass from just $105 per person per night. Get all the details at snowbird.com. Lots of accidents this morning. Riverdale Road at I-15 southbound. Apparently, it is causing delay in both directions there. Also, there's still the incident up Parley's Canyon. This is westbound as you make your way down towards Salt Lake. A rolled over semi causing the two left lanes to be closed. That's just around Lambs Canyon. Also, Bangerter at 2400 South. The two left lanes there are closed and causing a big mess. And also 5600 West at 3500 South northbound, there is a crash. All those not expected to be cleared up for at least the next half an hour or so. Find your way around those incidents.
Bill curated some boner candidates for us, even though he's not here today. Here are the titles coming up. Trying to pump a little iron. It was either spank her or scare her within an inch of her life. Or want to have some fun? Let's go out snake catching.
All right. Snake catching. All right, so round one of your boner voting coming up after these. Stand by. New Dwello Homes.
Yeah, they have this gift of equity program where qualified new home buyers can come up with 1% down. So you come up with that 1%, and either that's you coming up with it, or maybe your grandma's loaning it to you, something like that. Then $8,740, New Dwello will help you come up for a home costing less than $437,000. It's just helping you get that down payment.
And it's a great service that she has put together. This because if you were doing this on your own, it would take you a very long. Well, you already have a job, right?
Yeah.
Plus, you'd be doing it in your off time, and it would take you so much longer to find all of this information.
So how you get access to it? You text the word money to 62687. Then you'll get a link to a preliminary qualification questionnaire. It's just 7 questions you answer. Now, if you answer yes to those 7 questions, you've met the preliminary qualifications. There's no obligation, no income restrictions in most counties. There are limited funds available, though, so I think this refreshes once a month, whatever's available. So text the word money to 62687 for New Dwello.
Strong Volkswagen and X96 present Pepper. Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Richie flew back from Cedar City, and he flew back on the plane, on the SkyWest plane, with a celebrity.
sitting in the waiting, in the waiting room, the lobby, if you will, waiting to get on my plane. Hey,
at the terminal?
At the terminal. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. But, Cedar City has a brand new airport, so it's not really like a terminal. Mm-hmm. It's like a cabin, like a mini Cabela's looking airport thing.
Okay.
And terminal was the word I probably should have used there. Right. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see my old friend Mike Leavitt, former governor, and now
his old friend.
Well, and here's why. Hey, Mike. Apparently now Bill told me I should have called him Mr. Secretary. But I said, hey, Mike. Hey, Richie. How's it going?
So how do you know Mike Leavitt? He's from Cedar City.
He's a Cedar SUU grad, and I met him the first time. My dad used to work for him.
That's right.
And then also, though, when I did a TV show down at Southern Utah University called SUU Live, and we had him come on and sing Happy Birthday to us. He thought he was going to be discussing hard-pointed issues, and it was kind of a mix between Saturday Night Live and a late show with David Letterman kind of format. And so we got him to come on and sing Happy Birthday to us and eat birthday cake.
Yeah, it was like the Late Show with David Letterman and what else?
And Saturday Night Live.
But kind of the non-funny versions of those.
Exactly. If you can remove all the humor from those.
All of the intelligence and humor out of it. It was kind of like that.
That's exactly what it was. So he sang Happy Birthday, and he's never let us forget that.
So did you tell him what you were doing? Where you'd been? Did you chat with him at all?
I did. I said, I've been working. I was down here for the radio station. He knew that I worked. He said, how's that going? I said, pretty well, working in Salt Lake. Work for X96. And he kind of went, he knew exactly what that was. I said, you're welcome to be on the program tomorrow morning if you'd like. I guess he was flying to D.C. later last night, too, so obviously he couldn't. But
did he have really any idea what X96 was?
I think
he's been on the show before.
Yeah, his face read like that he had a clue, an inkling, if you will. But just, I asked him. I said, this bird flu really a big deal? Are we really needing to worry about it?
And he said, nah.
Yeah, forget it. No, he says, it's kind of like a tropical storm. It could be something big or could be nothing. I said, okay, thanks.
What a thoughtful man. He's such a thoughtful man.
He was a nice guy.
So you rode back to Salt Lake with Mike Leavitt, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
He snores, I think. It was either he or his Secret Service guy that was snoring in the front of the plane. There was only 10 of us, so we're like, come on.
I'll bet it's him. You know why he's snoring, don't you?
No idea.
He has bird flu. That's one of the first symptoms. You snore.
I'm surprised he was flying with the bird flu.
Oh, no. It makes it easy to fly. Yeah, that's part of you get the bird flu. Part of it is you start to fly.
96.3 X96. With the latest from your favorite morning radio show.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
Follow Radio from Hell on Twitter at Radio from Hell.
All right, 7:21 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you now need to decide who is the worst of these 3.
Boner means mistake. Who of these three candidates deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? Two candidates now, then a third candidate after the big boy news. Once you've heard all three, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
tickets to go see Cake live at the Eccles.
Nice.
It's October 4th at Eccles Theater in downtown Salt Lake City. Tickets are on sale now at liveattheeccles.com and at the Eccles Theater box office.
All right. Did you get things figured out?
I got it.
Okay.
Bill is not here, but he got up and said, I'm going to do the boners. I will send you the boners. So Bill Allred, on his sick bed, got up and selected these boners for you. Boner candidate number 1, trying to pump a little iron. Germany. A man who... He just wants me to say this.
Yeah, is that what he... This is a whole big setup.
A man who stuck his penis in a dumbbell weight spent 3 hours surrounded by firefighters who sliced him free with power tools. So there's a picture at x96.com/live. You know, the discs that you put on the end of... And there's the, part you slide onto the pole,
bar.
And...
Good for that guy, because I couldn't fill that thing.
Good for that guy?
I mean, I don't know if it's if it's an Olympic size bar, that is...
Richie's impressed, apparently. Angle grinders, a saw, and a hydraulic rescue tool were all used to smash the 5-pound...
5 pound. It's just a 5 pound.
Okay.
All right. Don't get excited.
Jeez. This was after doctors were unable to remove the weight following they're calling it a mishap.
A mishap.
At the gym. The victim had to be sedated as firefighters from the city smashed the weight free. Firefighters shared a picture of the smashed weight on social media with some helpful advice to anybody tempted to squeeze into tight spots, saying, please do not imitate such actions.
Ow!
But what?
Questions I can't ask you on the air.
This is not a mishap. That makes it sound like he tripped.
Yeah.
And
do you think it was a macho show of force? Like, hey, I can hold this weight up?
It was certainly stupid.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like sort of a dare or some...
Like you could lift it?
Yeah.
Is that what you...
Yeah, because it's 5 pounds. So that's what I'm assuming with it being a light enough weight that you could be like, ha-ha! And hold it up.
Richie's actually thinking this through.
How old is this person?
It doesn't say how old. Yeah. So you're actually... I'm thinking he just thought, I wonder.
If it fits?
Yeah. You think it was, can I pick it up?
Maybe. I mean, do we have a picture of what the guy looks like?
No.
Because I can tell you... Let me do some research. If I can find what he looks like, I can tell you what his motivation was. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. That's boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2. Well, it was either spank her or scare her within an inch of her life. Youngstown, Ohio. A man's been charged after chasing his 6-year-old daughter around a neighborhood while wearing a clown mask. And another man's been charged for firing a gun. Police say the girl first jumped into a stranger's car, then ran into a stranger's apartment while screaming that a clown was chasing her on Saturday night. Police say the man in the apartment building came outside and fired a gunshot into the ground. So this little girl comes screaming into your apartment, says, this clown's chasing me. He goes outside. He's like, oh, well, fires like a warning shot at the clown. Well, it was her dad.
That's parenting.
The father told police he chased his daughter to discipline her for behavioral issues instead of spanking her.
Yes.
Well, do you want me to spank her? Because these are the only 2 options I have.
Chasing her in a clown mask or spanking.
Well,
there's no other thing
you guys get pissed when I spank my children. This is the only other way.
I can't just, talk to her. Grounding is out of the question.
Absolutely.
Sending her to her room, not possible.
No.
He's been charged with child endangering and inducing panic. I mean, he could have been shot.
Well, yeah, he could have been.
Because what's this guy supposed to think? This little girl screaming, guy in a clown mask is chasing me. She doesn't know it's her dad.
Boom.
Police say the man who fired the gunshot's been charged with using a weapon while intoxicated. I don't think that's fair.
Well.
What do you want him to do? Boner candidate number 2. Well, what was I supposed to do?
All right.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Want to have some fun? Let's go out snake catching.
All right. Boner candidate number 3. Coming up after this here, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Alpine Plastic Surgery, specializing in sculpting your body to achieve the goals that you have above and beyond what diet and exercise can provide. Visit alpineplasticsurgery.com and schedule a free consultation today.
Great.
So I haven't been able to find a picture of boner candidate number 1, the gentleman, not the actual incident, but penis hanging is apparently a thing, and I wish I wouldn't have found out what that is.
You've gone down a hole you shouldn't have gone down.
And you're using Bill's computer.
Yeah. Don't, because it's already compromised.
It's already gummed up, and you're just adding to the...
Well, it was actually a pop-up on Bill's computer.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking, and it just came up. But apparently it's a thing to hang weights off of your penis. That is a thing with
Can
a
you
competition.
research this more on your own time?
Yeah.
I'm done looking at it.
That's it.
That's it. I didn't need any more.
Let's see. Caldwell, Texas. Travelers on a Texas highway were met with an unpleasant sight on Thursday. A massive pile of chicken parts that burst out of the truck and onto the highway. Gross, said Rusty Surrett.
Chicken parts?
We're getting reports that chicken, quote, parts have spilled on the highway near McDonald's. An employee at the nearby Daily Grind shop snapped a photo of the, quote, very unfortunate accident while also poking some fun at this situation. I should have, if I were better, Dylan, I would have made sure you had this picture because it's disgusting. It's chicken parts all over
Oh my God. Hang on.
like a lot of chicken parts.
Let the farm boy see.
Chicken parts.
I can't even really tell what the parts are.
No, but it's just like a big slob of goo all over the front of a semi.
I'm just wondering, so they're hauling chicken, were these chicken parts going like to be consumed, or these like, oh, there, Dylan found it.
Yeah,
x96.com/live.
It's like, yeah.
Chicken
parts. They're probably going to be made into pet food or something like that. You know,
it's the leftover. This wasn't for human consumption. I don't.
You notice that there's a McDonald's in the background.
Yeah, doesn't have anything to do with McDonald's.
I feel like a chicken already. I just made an egg in my pants.
Oh, people want to look like Ivanka Trump.
They do?
Fans of Ivanka Trump are increasingly this is in Newsweek. This isn't a, crazy weird news source. They're increasingly requesting plastic surgeons to replicate the first daughter's look, with New Yorkers' demand for the Ivanka look now rivaling that of the Jenners and the Kardashians. New York cosmetic surgeon Dr. Roman Rose told Newsweek that people in the city are looking for, quote, a permanent Ivanka look and are willing to spend $50,000 to get there. Now, the funny thing is, Ivanka had to pay for her look, too.
Yes.
She was not born with that nose and those lips. They said she's a powerful woman, and
we're worshiping the wrong powerful women.
Exactly.
Though. I mean, and when I say we, I mean as a nation.
Thank you. 50,000. They said, oh, and she's got a great body. It's not just her face. She's got a great body. She's got great style.
Ugh.
And she's a senior advisor to the president. But when asked, what, don't you talk to your dad about these things? She's like, oh, well, he didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't expect me to change his mind.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, that's what the position is to educate him.
Yeah. You're an advisor.
You're allegedly the one with the common sense, although I have yet to see any proof of that.
Sorry. Chip and Joanna. You got to love Chip and Joanna.
They're on the HGTV, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You like Chip and Joanna. You don't like Kaiser and whatever the other guy's name is. What's his name?
Kaiser?
That two, they're getting divorced. What's his name?
Oh, and Flipper Flop?
Yeah, what's his
Tarek.
name? Tarek. Yeah.
Kaiser.
Weird. It's
Tarek
a weird
and
name.
Christina,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
It's a weird name. Kaiser. No, Fixer Upper, Chip and Joanna.
Yes.
Everybody loves Chip and Joanna.
He eats the craziest things on the show.
And I'm kind of tired of Chip and Joanna.
Yeah.
Every house they do is the same. It's all white and maybe something gray in the corner. They're kind of boring.
Well, you should watch last week's South Park then.
Do they do a Chip and Joanna thing in it?
It's Stan's parents.
Are they getting a fixer up? Are they fixer uppering things?
It's called White People Flipping Houses.
So I need to see
you
that.
need to go see it.
So Chip and Joanna are super Jesus-y.
Now see the show. You would not know watching the show,
And they don't, because it's not about that. But
why are all the house flippers super Jesus-y? The Property Brothers are super Jesus-y too.
They're really super Jesus-y.
Okay.
So Chip and Joanna have come up with a line of home goods, like decorator stuff.
Okay.
That they are partnering with Target.
All right.
You know who's upset about this?
Who?
Martha Stewart?
No. Uber Jesus-y Chip and Joanna fans.
Because they're going with Target.
Because they're going with Target.
Because Target is a liberal company, and
It's a trans.
Yes.
It said the story says, although many of us cheered when Target introduced a trans-friendly policy, allowing customers and employees to use bathrooms and dressing rooms that best correspond to their gender, there are groups out there that have not set foot in Target since this decision. And those people are also fixer-upper fans, so they are not happy with Chip and Joanna, who are also evangelical Christians. They can't believe that they've chosen Target to sell their goods. And there are a bunch of people on Twitter, saying, I don't shop at Target anymore. I wish you would have followed your Christian values instead of the almighty dollar. I've lost respect for you. We don't shop at Target because of their anti-Christian ways. They don't allow Second Amendment rights either.
Yes, they do. And it's not anti-Christian. I think Christ wouldn't care where you go potty.
No.
He wouldn't.
And he doesn't
He'd
care.
He'd be fascinated by our bathrooms. Let's be honest. Look at that. We just went out behind a bush.
Right.
I did that. That's what he'd say.
So they're selling throw pillows, and
it is something to get upset over, Gina.
No.
We don't have it. We don't have anything else in our lives to be upset about.
No. Carrie, you have to help me with time here, because I don't.
No, you one more story.
One more story.
Yeah.
One more story. I promise I'm not just rubbing it in BYU, but there's
okay, all right.
But it wasn't just the horrible game.
It was ranked 10 Wisconsin, so I mean, there's part of that now that the University of Utah will play a team that is,
The bad luck started before the game. Did you see this?
No, I don't think so.
Pre-game parachuters at BYU didn't exactly have a flawless entry before the Cougar game versus Wisconsin. And there's video of this all over.
You can see it.
I haven't seen it.
The first parachuter came in and he touched down a little bit but ran into the wall.
Now these are these rectangular ones, the parachutes, so that they can glide forward. It's not like a round one that just you're falling. These are the ones that you can steer.
Yeah.
But I think there were 3 of them. They all had problems. Every one of them that came down, one of them fell onto the, didn't have the nice touch landing where they run on their feet. The second one almost ran into the first one that almost ran into the wall. And I just think it was, if you want to be a Cougar fan and blame your loss on something, you can blame the parachuters.
Okay.
Speaking of parachuters too, quickly,
yes.
On Saturday, there were people saying they saw some weird UFO lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out those were parachuters for the U game.
Okay.
But people were saying it's a UFO. No, they were just parachuters.
Why do people immediately jump to UFO?
Because it's fun to jump to UFO.
Why don't you, work through some other things first, and then all possibilities are off the table. Then you go
No,
UFO.
it's a UFO. It's got to be.
You'd never get to UFO if you did that, Carrie.
That's my point.
No, but
weather, traffic?
Weather. At Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City, you get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty. Online at strongvw.com or call 800-NEW-CARS. Enjoy your fall because it's like today and yesterday and maybe tomorrow, but it should be cold by the end of the week. High of 56 on Friday. Today, high of 82. So that is your weather. A quick look at traffic. Lots of incidents this morning. It's brought to you by Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Head up there for the entire weekend. You can do the all-day activities pass, Oktoberfest, all that. Get all the information at snowbird.com. There is still that accident, 5600 west, 3500 south, and it looks like they have cleared that accident up in Parley, so that is your traffic this morning.
All right, thank you.
Boner candidate number 3. Want to have some fun? Let's go out snake catching.
All right.
Coolidge, Arizona. A man out catching snakes for fun,
like you do,
ended up getting bit twice on his face and neck. And I bet, Dylan does have photos. That's not a neck tattoo. That's a giant.
Are you
no,
sure?
That's got to be
Is that a neck tattoo?
That's a tattoo.
No, that's the bite right there.
The bite there. And
it's
then
bite
down there.
and neck tattoo?
But it's a cat's face if you look close.
Oh,
You can see it's a tattoo. But no, he is swollen up.
Victor Pratt said, quote, "I wasn't thinking. Instead of being a father, I was being a buddy." When you're being a buddy,
yeah,
you can get into trouble. Pratt's been humbled by his experience earlier this month while celebrating his son's birthday in Coolidge. "I've been catching rattlesnakes since I was about 8 years old. We had nothing else to do back in the day." That's what he was doing with his sons that night, trying to catch rattlesnakes. This is your activity, your birthday activity.
Let's go catch snakes.
So when he says, instead of being a father, I was being a buddy, he means like with his kids.
Yeah.
"I know how to cook them and cut the heads off and stuff," Pratt said. "They taste like chicken. It's actually not bad." But the snake bit Pratt twice in his face and neck. "It makes your mind smash. Like I'm smashed." Sounds like his brain hasn't recovered.
Yeah.
"I saw him bleeding down," Pratt's son Samuel said. "He had it in his hand by the time I turned my head." Pratt said he pulled the snake off and his sons took him to the hospital. "First aid measures are usually ineffective," said Dr. Stephen Curry with the Department of Medical Toxicology. "Tourniquets are bad, knives, razor blades, cutting over the wound, all those, things you've heard you're supposed to do. It's mostly just keep them calm and get them to the hospital. The progression of swelling is very rapid. Patients will commonly have an obstructed airway, be unable to breathe for a few minutes. Arizona sees as many as 350 rattlesnake bite cases a year. I'm guessing most of those aren't from, hey kids, let's go catch some snakes. They taste like chicken." That would have been my headline for this one.
All right.
But Bill named it.
Because Bill picked it.
Want to have some fun? Let's go out snake catching. There
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, trying to pump a little iron. This is a guy at the gym who thought he could put a weight.
I'm impressed. I haven't been able to determine whether he was doing it as a feat of manliness or just interest.
Yeah, most 15-year-old boys are impressed.
Boner candidate number 2, it was either spank her or scare her within an inch of her life. This is a father who was trying to discipline his daughter by scaring her with dressing up like a clown and chasing her around. And boner candidate number 3, want to have some fun? Let's go out snake catching.
All right, let's go. Let's vote. This is round 2 for your boner voting. All right, you got to decide which of these 3 is the worst of these 3. Which of these 3 deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? 1, 2, or 3. Put the number of the candidate you think should win in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Easy. You can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote if you'd like. You can also vote online, x96.com. Look for the box when you get there that says Round 1, September 18. And vote there. If you don't see the box, refresh. It should appear. Less than 300 seconds. Let's go. Round 1 of your boner voting. Happening now.
Give me something. After Radio from Hell, we'll kick off your workday with a 1-hour nonstop music.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Radio from Hell radio players.
Sex. Boom. There, I said it.
You did it. Good for you. I love how you snicker and can't say that word with a straight face.
I didn't snicker. All I'm saying is our relationship expert is in the studio. And I made a breakthrough, didn't I? Didn't I?
What was it?
I said sex over the public airwaves.
Oh, by the way, I did get your email with all your questions. We're going to go through them one by one tonight.
All right, thanks for throwing me under the bus.
It's all good, brother. Big Daddy's here.
The birds and the bees. It's a conversation that is a famous in culture.
Oh yeah, critical.
What actual percentage would you say from your experience as a relationship coach, what percentage of families actually have this conversation with their kids?
You know, my gut would tell me 35%.
Really? See, I would have put it somewhere around like 5, 10.
Well, I don't know, you think, but I don't know that they do a great job about it.
You know there's things we don't talk about, kids.
Right.
One of them is the birds and the bees.
I think we're getting to a day and age when more and more of it is happening. There are some great statistics about, teenage sex and things like that. And, those numbers are dropping, not doing it as much as they used to, amazingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that nationwide or just in Utah?
Nationwide.
Okay.
And, in fact, I'm looking for those as we're talking. I think what we're starting to see is, for example, younger adolescents, so younger than 15 years of age, are delaying sexual intercourse by a great number. In fact, here's some examples, some other statistics. Ages 12 to 19-year-olds report parents are their greatest influence regarding sexual decision-making and values.
Okay.
37% say their parents were the most important key as opposed to their friends, 33%. Siblings 5%, and the media. So parents, it's a critical thing that you talk to your kids. 94% of adolescents and 91% of, it's 94% of adolescents and 91% of parents believe that adolescents should be advised that they should not have sex before completing high school.
That's interesting because, for the most part, not the most part, but a lot of parents believe that their kids aren't going to listen to them.
Oh, yeah. No.
They don't have the kind of influence over their teenagers that they wish they had. But what you're saying is...
they expect it.
So, parents, step up. I think Utah, I believe we do have a bit of stigma around this topic. Sometimes we don't want to go there. Sometimes we think it's opening up a can of worms. But I think it's completely your responsibility, and, you would let your kid go and do something dangerous, without some advice, some information.
Like rock climbing or...
Like rock climbing, right. You'd make sure they knew what was going on. You'd make sure that they...
or driving.
Uh-huh, right.
What the hell was that?
That was the Radio from Hell radio players.
What? How long was that?
Too long.
How long was that?
4 minutes.
What did they say?
And that was cut off.
And I still don't know what they said.
I have no idea what they were talking
there was
about.
More of it.
Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, time to award round one of your boner voting.
And this morning's boner is brought to you in part by New York Strip with Rayburn's Rub.
Well.
And from Gracie's, it's Monday. It's time for the Gracie's Monday Jazz Jam with David Halliday and the Jazz Vespers. They're from 7 to 10. They're open to local musicians who wish to sit in with the band. Like Gracie's on Facebook for updates. It's adults only.
Boner candidate number 1 was trying to pump a little iron. This is the man who was at the gym and had a weight, and
there was a hole in the weight,
and a
so
thought.
Naturally. Well, what do you expect him to do? There was a hole.
Richie is impressed.
Jesus.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2. It was either spank her or scare her within an inch of her life. This is a dad with a 6-year-old daughter, little kid.
Mm-hmm.
She's misbehaving, and his only 2 options are: well, I could spank her,
Yep, that's it.
or I could put on a scary clown mask and chase her around the neighborhood.
Those are the only 2. That's your disciplining. It's a very very small book.
Which he did, and she ran into a stranger's apartment, and the stranger saw the crazy clown and shot it. Boner candidate number 3, want to have some fun. Let's go out snake catching. This is a dad celebrating his son's birthday, saying, there's not much to do in Coolidge, Arizona. Let's go catch snakes. And he got bit in the face and the neck. Let's see. We gave away some cake tickets to Forest. And it was pretty close voting between 1 and 2. And I'm very disappointed to report that it's boner candidate number 1.
Oh, really?
The dad in the clown mask is a better candidate.
No, but I mean, it's stupid, funny human behavior, right? And you don't know because you don't have the parts, but there is this thing where you go, I wonder, what about that?
Carrie?
I don't. No. No, number 1 should not have won.
No, it should have been number 2. Number 2 was the better candidate.
But you're not denying what I said.
It's very stupid, yes.
No, the other part.
You want to get into it with you. There's a hole. I had to.
I mean, no, and not as an adult. Maybe for a Not Safe for Work episode, I can tell you about my experience.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Embarrassing.
I don't want to hear that. All right.
Mom had to help me.
Bill Frost will be here to tell us what's on TV.
I wonder if he watched the Emmys. It's funny because he's the TV guy, and he usually says, yeah, I didn't watch the Emmys.
Which is why I'll bet he did not watch the Emmys.
But Stephen Colbert hosting.
I from everything I've seen, because I didn't watch the Emmys, he did an excellent job.
So I've got the winners here, but also just some of the big thing everybody's talking about is Sean Spicer.
Okay, tell me, because I actually don't know about this part of it.
So at the end of Stephen Colbert's monologue, there were special rumblings that a special political guest was going to be on stage at the Emmys. I don't know if they thought it was going to be Hillary or. So he had the podium that they used on SNL. That Melissa McCarthy would,
sure,
was on wheels,
I'm trying to get the audio for you.
And, at least according to Twitter, and I think Dylan wanted to come in and talk about this, people were not amused.
They were not amused about what?
That Sean Spicer was that. Why are we having fun with Sean Spicer?
So, do you have the audio?
They sent me a long.
Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us. 150 original scripted shows made this year. Of course, there's no way anyone could possibly watch that much TV other than the president, who seems to have a lot of time for that sort of thing. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to the tweets.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And
well, that's the whole thing. This happens at the end.
They jumped.
Oh.
See, they sent me this bad audio. Let me find a different source.
Okay. So here, I'll give you a little context. So Sean Spicer was the White House press secretary for Donald Trump, and he has since been canned. They kicked him out of the job.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the press secretary when Trump was elected, who came out and said he had the biggest inauguration ever.
Biggest
The biggest crowd. More people watched on television than ever. More people were there than ever. It was the biggest ever. And Stephen Colbert said, well, we're at the Emmys, and this is being watched, like they always say, in 60 countries around the world, and 100 million people are watching the Emmys. And this is the biggest Emmys ever. And we have somebody here who can verify that. Come on out. And then Sean Spicer comes out with the podium, the press secretary podium.
The Melissa McCarthy movable one.
Right, the Melissa McCarthy. And the audience laughed, applauded, made a lot. It was a big uproar. It was a long time of rabble.
Yeah.
And it would cut to Melissa McCarthy, who looked.
She didn't look. She wasn't amused, I don't think.
But she didn't seem. I don't know.
I thought she looked annoyed.
She wasn't laughing.
No.
She kind of was like, "What? Huh? Really?" Some people thought it was very, very funny. It
I
mixed
saw a
the
lot
room.
of people were like annoyed, like, "Why are we having fun with this?"
And I think he just had like a line where he said, "This is the biggest Emmys ever."
This is the biggest Emmys audience ever, period.
Yeah.
That was his joke.
And then Stephen Colbert said, Melissa McCarthy, everybody. And then they played him off. And that was all the bit was. And so people said, he lied to the public.
Well, yeah.
He worked for Donald Trump, who all the liberals in Hollywood don't like. Why was he invited to be?
Well, these are a few tweets that I saw. Sean Spicer is an accessory to an ongoing attack on American democracy. Stop giggling and pull your head out of your ass. Steve Bannon got a 60-minute feature. Sean Spicer got an Emmys cameo, but Hillary Clinton needs to shut up and go away. Okay. I understand that. But at the same time, I'm able to see Colbert going, this would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I sympathize with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Spicer thinking he's going to get redemption, but does not, because Stephen Colbert, instead of saying Sean Spicer, everybody says Melissa McCarthy, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if Sean thinks he's going to get redemption by doing this, by laughing at himself, he's wrong.
Well, and that to me is the brilliant. I think the brilliance of Stephen Colbert is Stephen Colbert found out somehow he could get Sean Spicer to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Spicer is dumb enough to think he could come out at one of the most liberal Hollywood events of the year and think it would save his image. And Stephen Colbert knew it wouldn't.
It wouldn't. Yeah.
And the joke was always on Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
The joke was, you idiot.
You lied for the president, and now you're here lying again. And we see through you. And yeah, so maybe that's it. I don't know. I mean, I can see the joke. I can see why people are upset as well. I'm able to see both sides.
Yeah.
And I also think it's kind of a middle finger to Donald Trump a little bit of, you got rid of this guy, and now here we're putting him.
Well, and it was a real kick to Trump because Alec Baldwin won an Emmy for being on Saturday Night Live, and the only thing he's been doing on Saturday Night Live is Trump. And in his acceptance speech said, "You were very upset that The Apprentice never won an Emmy. Well, here's your Emmy. I got your Emmy."
I for being you.
For being you.
Yeah, and they played the clip early in the show of Trump and Hillary debating, and Hillary said, he didn't ever win an Emmy for The Apprentice, his television program, and he claimed every time that the results were fake for the Emmys, and he's going to do it with this election if he loses. And he went, well, they are fake. I should have won. My show was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Colbert. He's Colbert for politics. So it was a very political show.
Yeah.
But there were some great moments for
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is now a record holder, right, for Veep?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Yes.
He won 2. He won for directing and acting.
The first black person
director
to win as the director of a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
There were some other
Lando
awards as well.
There were a bunch of them. It was,
there were some cool firsts, like that, but I can't remember off the top of my
But
head.
I thought Colbert, the stuff that I saw, he did a fine job.
Sure.
I'll try to find some of his jokes. I'm sorry about that audio clip. They sent me a really bad version of it.
Bad, sad.
It's bad. It's not good.
A quick look at traffic.
It's bad. It's not good.
You're right. It is bad. It's not good. Northbound I-15, 304. That's 2700 south here in Salt Lake. Northbound, there is an accident there on the right-hand shoulder. Westbound I-84. I'm not sure exactly where that is. Up in Weber County. And then a crash eastbound on the 201, 2000 west. So that is causing a little bit of delay as you make your way towards Salt Lake, but only between 5 and 10 minutes. That is your traffic.
All right, thank you very much. Bill Frost telling us what's on TV coming up in just a few moments. Stand by for that. Geek News on the radio later. I've got stuff about Star Wars. Believe it or not, there's a Star Wars book.
Like not a comic book, but an actual...
Yeah, an actual book that I'm going to get.
Really?
I'm interested in it. And some news about it coming up as well. Stand by.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
That's how desperate I am.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Last week, these little girls came up to me.
Ow.
They come running up to me, and they go, and I mean, they're like 12 years old or 11, and they go, Are you Bill Allred? And I said, yeah. And they said, do you remember us? And I said, no. And they said, you threw us out of that garage in your backyard a couple of weeks ago.
What? You had kids in your garage?
Not my garage, my neighbor. She has this old garage, and the top of it.
No, do you have an infestation?
Yeah.
Is it like
little girls?
That's what it was like. It was an infestation of little girls. And the old garage has like a top place that you can walk up some stairs and go into, a second story, but it's just ramshackle. You know, you can see through the ceiling and the floorboard.
You ought not be walking around.
It's more of a shack than anything.
Yeah, and I realized there were some kids up there so I went over, and there were these little girls in there trying to clean it up and make a playhouse out of it. You know, and
a fort. We want a fort.
Yeah, and I was nice to them because I said I know how attractive this is to want to do this, but it's really not safe. Plus, it's filthy. And I mean, they had cleaning equipment in there and all of this kind of stuff. And I said, it's really not safe.
Yeah.
So and there were other kids coming down my driveway and stuff to go up there with them. And I said, so come on out and please don't do it anymore. And you know, they haven't. I could have I was going to put a lock on the door for my neighbor. And I haven't gotten around to it, but I don't think anybody's been up there since.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. But then apparently there were some older kids who recognized me, apparently. So they were just really excited that they had been thrown out.
Kicked us out.
They kicked us out of that place.
Does that mean Jonesy's going to scream like that someday? No! Is that what girls do?
Yeah.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
Who is that? Who is that that says super good fun?
It's a PSA for some kid thing.
But you don't know who it is?
No.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
I love that.
All it takes is a little know-how.
All it takes is a little know-how. Yeah, super good fun.
96.3 FM, X96.
as dawn comes out of the east and spreads down the quiet streets.
Radio from Hell. Carrie, Bill, and Gina in the morning, and alternative music all day. X96.
Is it sponsored?
It is. In fact, it's brought to you by Selling Your Home, ? Have you done everything possible to gain every dollar from that sale? Text the word money to the number 62687 and learn about the new Dwello Gift of Equity program.
Here he is, Bill Frost. And the website is billfrost.tv. That's it.
He writes about TV.
And you can read it there.
And other funny things.
Yeah,
Hey,
other
you're
stuff.
You're doing the Ocho, right?
Sure. Thanks for noticing.
Write stuff in the City Weekly as well.
What's this week's?
I don't remember.
Perfect.
I wrote it last week, so that's a whole week ago.
You can't expect him to, with all this TV he's watching, you can't expect him to remember that.
Last week's was making fun of Hillary Clinton's books, and apparently some people are outraged.
Of course they are. Everybody's outraged about everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we need the distraction of TV.
Sure, yeah.
What do we got?
And no, I did not watch the Emmys.
Of course not.
Because, the list comes out on Monday morning. Why would I suffer through 3 hours of
Because
that?
because that is a television program.
About television programs.
There are things
Bought
happening.
and paid for.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch Adam Ruins Everything, the episode Adam Ruins Hollywood, and you'll never watch another award show again.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Or don't, and just...
I don't want it to ruin it for me.
Never mind. Don't do that.
All right.
Tonight,
yes,
Dancing with the Stars, season 25.
Who do we have? I haven't paid attention to the...
Terrell Owens.
T.O.?
Yeah.
He can't get a job in football.
Yeah.
So
Derek Fisher. He's another sports ball.
He's the baskets ball.
Why don't they just do an all sports edition of this?
Well, there's also little Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah.
There's somebody.
Little modest Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah.
The violinist.
Is she going to not wear the sexy time outfits because they're sexy time outfits?
She can for ballroom dancing. People will give her a pass on.
You get a pass on ballroom dancing?
That seems ridiculous.
Favored to win though because she's a dancer.
Well, oh yeah.
You think she's gonna beat Frankie Muniz or Debbie Gibson? Or somebody from Shark Tank? I don't know.
I'm somebody from Shark Tank.
They have names, but yeah, that's
Okay.
tonight.
That's all you care about.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Jim Jeffries is back.
Hey.
Now more than ever.
Gary's been playing some clips from his show that are...
He does a really good job.
He does not care.
Yeah. It's like a Sam B kind of Daily Show kind of thing.
Yeah. Except he keeps it under control. I think Samantha Bee's head is going to explode any episode.
Yeah, I worry.
Yeah, Jeffrey's very cool. I like he's got a talk show desk like you normally do, and a microphone, which if you'll notice is not plugged into anything.
It's Bluetooth, Carrie.
Bothers me. But he does something that most talk show hosts don't do. He'll lean back in his chair
and put his feet up on the desk,
off to the side, and just kind of. And the cameraman is having trouble following him.
We blocked this out earlier, Jim.
Anyway.
Wednesday, Channel Zero, the No End House on Sci-Fi.
Now, the last one.
The first season, yeah.
The first season with the Tooth Child, I quite enjoyed that
yeah.
one. And this one is a different anthology.
Yes, different set of actors, different story.
Different story.
A bunch of pretty 20-somethings go into a house. It's all sorts of weird and creepy. And
it's called what again?
The No End House.
The No End House.
And they go through a series of creepy rooms and they finally get out. But this also puts forth the theory is like, what if the last room is just part of the?
Oh.
What if we're not back in reality? What if we're still in the house?
Oh,
yeah.
I like it.
All right, I'll give it a try.
And The Good Place
is back. Oh, good.
On Wednesday, the 1 hour season premiere.
If you have not watched The Good Place, do not watch this new season.
Yeah, you gotta watch the first season.
You need to watch the first season because there's a thing that happens on the season finale that changes the entire thing.
And if you don't see that...
Exactly. If you have not seen the first season...
I'm trying to think what... I watched it. I'm trying to think what that thing was.
We'll talk about it off the air because it changes everything. So you have to see the first season before you start the second season.
Oh, yeah. Very funny, though.
Yes. A great show.
Thursday, Gotham, Season 4.
Still watching it, Carrie?
I'm still in. No, it's actually gotten better.
Yeah?
From
Because
the
I know,
first,
you were kind of like...
first couple of seasons, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Now they just don't care. They just don't care. They're throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, my partner on the TV Tan podcast, Tommy Milagro, refuses to watch until Jim Gordon has a mustache, the cop stash.
That's what
He
stopped
said, that's not my Jim Gordon.
Okay, then.
Hashtag not my Jim Gordon.
All right.
On Friday, Fuller House, Season 3.
Netflix.
Believe it or not, Netflix, yeah.
I'll miss it. Yeah, it's fine.
Has there been, this is a stupid question probably, has there been a thing that's gone from Netflix back onto TV? Or
No,
like
not yet.
Not yet? Because it surprises me with the popularity of Fuller House and some
You
other
think
things.
that would be the thing that would come back to?
I mean, what else? What else would be
Oh.
the thing?
Mm.
But 3 seasons, and they're veteran TV
People are-
actors. I would have thought that at some point they would have said, yeah, you know what? Why don't we make another on TV push about it?
Sounds like just a terrible enough idea for it to work.
Yep.
Also, Season 4 of Transparent with Jeffrey Tambor.
Which did
on
not
Amazon
win last
Prime.
night.
Oh.
He won last year, though. So.
Oh, okay.
And also a pretty interesting new, mostly animated series from Mike Judge called Tales from the Tour Bus on Cinemax. Follows the legends of some country music stars from back in the day, using animation and live footage and archival stuff.
Oh, so they interview these
people,
these musicians,
if they're alive.
if they're alive,
Yeah.
and they tell stories.
Yeah.
And the stories are then animated
Yes.
to
That could be fun.
to redo. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the first one up, Johnny Paycheck.
Oh, he's insane.
Yeah, so it should be a good one. Also coming up, George Jones, Billy Joe Shaver, Waylon Jennings.
So
Blaze
a lot
Foley.
of them are dead. Yes.
Yeah.
You could even kick this up a notch and make it like a drunk history, like have
Yeah,
them
kind
drunk
of,
telling
yeah.
stories. From,
That's Friday on Cinemax, and going all the way to Sunday, of course, Star Trek Discovery.
The first episode will be on TV.
On CBS.
On CBS. And
Proper.
I've set my DVR for it.
And
You'll
not
report back.
as they say in the movie world, not screened for critics.
And there's an embargo if you do after you see it. There's like an embargo. Or
An
something.
embargo?
Yeah.
Like after it's aired?
Yeah.
That's can't be enforced.
I
That's
read it.
completely stupid.
I'll find the story and show you.
That cannot be enforced at all.
Yeah. Anyway,
But,
it's just
it's been a long road to get here. It's been in production for 2 years
It looks
now.
great.
Yeah.
It really does. And what's going to happen is it's going to fail on the app.
Yes.
It's not going to drive the traffic to the
No.
app that they want it to. And they're going to blame the show. They're going to blame
Yeah.
Star Trek. They're going to blame a female crew or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that. It's because you're
making it difficult
You're making
to
it hard
get it.
to see.
Make
Everybody
things
wants their
easier
own.
for
Everybody wants their own little pay platform.
Yes.
So they can sell directly to the consumer, but there's too many of them.
And Disney is about the only one that
Yes.
can pull it off.
And they're about to do it.
And they're about to do it. CBS, I don't think you can pull it off.
No.
I'm sorry. You're
They
not
had-
going to get Netflix numbers.
They had a mild success with what was it? The Good Fight, the Good Wife spinoff.
Yeah.
but
mild.
not really.
Mild.
Super mild.
They
But-
think the Star Trek fans will do it, and some of us will. From
But
what
not
I'm
enough
hearing,
that-
not enough are
no.
going to, and they're going to blame the show. They're going to,
Because you know what? There's so much good TV out there,
There
that you
is.
don't have to jump through those hoops to get to.
I say, if this fails, at least you have the Orville,
Yes.
which I'm quite enjoying.
You and me apparently are the only ones.
Oh, I see a lot of people on the social media saying,
Oh, good.
I don't care what anybody says. I
Yeah.
love this show.
Yeah.
And that is your week there.
That's the week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bill Frost. Read his stuff in City Weekly, but mostly at billfrost.tv.
Yeah, it's all linked there.
And the TV Tan podcast. All right, traffic. Do we have that?
Yeah, celebrate autumn at Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Escape for the whole weekend with the Oktoberfest getaway package, including lodging, daily breakfast, and an all-day activities pass from just $105 per person per night. Get all the details at snowbird.com. There's a crash eastbound SR 201 at 2000 West as you make your way towards Salt Lake. It's on the right-hand side, so causing between 5 and 10 minutes of delay. I-15 northbound at 2700 South, there's a crash on the right-hand side. That's been a little bit of a mess between 10 and 15 minutes. Westbound I-84, that's at the mouth of Weber Canyon. It has been cleared to the right-hand side, but they won't get it completely cleared off the road and stopping the delay there till about 9 o'clock this morning. So that's your traffic.
All right, thank you very much. Boners round 2 coming up.
Yes. Boner candidate number 1, did he yell for? Boner candidate number 2, after the hurricane, deaf people should watch out for monsters and bears. And boner candidate number 3, they said shed, we say playhouse.
Oh, I know that story.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
It's a
thank
good
you.
one.
Round 2, boner voting coming up after these. Also, geek news on the radio. Stand by. Ranlife.com.
Oh.
Well, it is time for the kiss. Now, did we get enough kiss money?
Yes.
In the short amount of time.
He's lying. Yes, we did.
How much did we get?
We got well, we had the $1,800 that was dropped off here. And then on the phones we had about $455. We
Okay.
said $2,000. That's $2,255.
And that was in a 10-minute time frame, really.
Richie has always wanted to kiss Gina.
So badly.
Always wanted to.
No. Oh, Craig's reaching into his wallet. I was hoping you would stop it.
And we need.
Here's Craig's going to give $2,000 to stop it.
And we need video of this.
Oh.
We need evidence. People will want to see this on our website. All right, have you got it, Dylan? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Richie, why don't you...
Is there an embrace involved in this, or just...
Well, there was over 2,000.
Okay.
I don't know. Craig,
He's taking his teeth out. Watch,
we'll let
see?
Craig decide. Is an embrace okay?
Yeah.
During the kiss? Because this is the guy
All
who
right.
signs the check.
I'm
so-
doing this willingly, so I don't think it's sexual harassment.
So now I'm going to...
Wow.
do we need to pull him off?
Take the microphone up with you.
She's
there.
so creeped out she can't. She is so creeped
It's
out
for
she can't
the
stand it.
homeless and to defeat FM 100. Oh, excuse me. It's
Yes.
to defeat FM 100 and for the homeless.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to want the microphone close for the noises.
Smacking noise.
You're not going to be any noise. Oh, quit licking your lips.
Okay. Here we go.
Put your teeth in, Richie.
No, I said I would do it with the teeth out. Now, who's counting?
We all will. 1,001, like that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
Ready?
it. Okay. Ready, set, go. They're not doing it yet.
So weird.
Okay.
This is really weird. I didn't think it was going to be. Okay.
Let's go. Let's see. Okay. 1,000. 1,000. Wait a minute, I lost count.
3.
Yay.
For the homeless. Yay. It's for the homeless.
Yeah, we should have had mistletoe. Was it a big disappointment, Richie?
Richie,
No.
was it worth it?
No,
Was it everything you said?
but Gina wants more.
Was it everything you hoped?
That was more than 3 seconds.
That was. She kissed back, guys.
Did she?
Did she?
She kissed back.
Yeah, was it better for me or was it better for you, Gina?
It sounds like it was better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Hansen, the president of our company, now wants to see me in his office later this afternoon.
Oh,
Again?
Maybe he's
Another
got
$2,000.
Maybe he's got 2,000 he wants to spend. Yeah.
Well,
He saw what a good kisser you were. He wants lessons.
I'm glad. Did you just wipe my kiss off?
That was really weird. I didn't think it was going to be that weird until you were right in my face.
So this is my question. You're constantly flirting with Gina.
Soft lips. Is that your question?
No, I'm just wondering if this has changed your desires or
Yeah,
intensified them.
We're done.
You're
We're
done?
done?
We-
That's it?
We fulfilled it. Well, what else are we
Oh.
going to do, Gina?
There's nowhere to go from
Yeah.
here.
You know, all I know is that I have a really sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that I didn't have about 5 minutes ago. So
It's
That
done.
was good. Did it for charity.
Okay.
Did it.
Kerry Jackson on Twitter at RFH Kerry. That's Kerry, Kerry. Weekday mornings on X96.
All right, 8:21 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. This is 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. Of course, boner means mistake. We're going to give you 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. You will decide which one of these 3 is the worst, which one of these 3 deserves to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become the boner of the day. We do that at 9:25. 2 candidates now, third after the news. Winner receives a Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt, courtesy of
Excel Automotive Repair, 33rd South and 3rd East. Brand new color of the Boner t-shirt.
Oh, we're in a new shirt style now?
Yeah. It's I'm trying to find, it's like pinkish. It's not like carnation pink. It's like more
Darker
fuchsia,
pink?
more of a fuchsia-ish pink.
Okay.
See, the goal is ultimately to have the entire rainbow
of
boner
boners?
t-shirts.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
There's a goal. Okay.
Yeah, there is method to our madness. So
All right.
Enjoy that. That's lucky winner wins
Yeah,
that.
random voter.
Boner candidate number 1. By the way, Bill lost his voice, and he's not here. But he got up early this morning, and he picked all the boner candidates. And with this first one, he said, I know it's a Trump boner, but it's just too good.
All right.
Did he yell for?
Oh, yeah.
And this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, really? I mean, he does still surprise me. I know I shouldn't be surprised, but he still surprises me. President Donald Trump shared a tweet Sunday morning that included an image of him hitting a golf ball and striking Hillary Clinton. Now, the other funny part about this is where he was retweeting this from. This is a Twitter handle that I can't say on the radio.
Let me see. I didn't see that part of the story.
Right here. You can sound it out.
Oh, yeah. To use the Radio from Hell parlances, hugged up mind.
Really?
That's the Twitter handle.
Classy.
Yeah. It's your president.
It's deleted now because I was just looking. They must have deleted it.
Yeah, but it's everywhere. You can
people,
see it.
People captured it.
And the Twitter handle that I can't read, their Twitter bio indicates that he wants Clinton to be in prison and believes the conspiracy theory that Democrats had something to do with the death of Seth Rich, which is over and over and over again been proved not true. And the president read that and retweeted it, and it's a video, and it's I am continually stunned.
Remember all the times that Barack Obama tweeted stuff at Donald Trump when Donald Trump kept saying that he wasn't born in America? Remember that?
This Twitter account has also tweeted anti-Semitic things, anti-LGBTQ things. This is somebody, you can tell by the things that he retweets and the things that he comments on, what he's reading, what he's following, what's important to him. And he looked at that and thought, that's funny, retweet.
Well, there's a certain radio host in town who can't take phone calls, live ones anyway.
I'm talking.
And I happened to hear his promo for his show on the way in today.
Oh, yeah?
And he says, "Oh, I'm so upset because President Jerk is back."
Yep.
You know, just when I think he's got it all together, then President Jerk it, and I just was yelling. I was like, "No, he's always a jerk. It's when he's behaving that it's a special thing."
Yep.
Because that won't last.
Yeah.
He is a jerk. This is him.
That's him.
You know?
Occasionally, Kelly and people around him are able to hand him a piece of paper that they've written, and he reads it, and it comes out sort of okay. That's not him. Him is retweeting this.
Yes, that's who he really is. And apparently General Kelly grabbed his phone this morning because the only thing he's tweeted so far is about the CIA anniversary or something like that.
Happy anniversary.
You know?
Well, he's speaking at the UN today.
Well, that'll be. Oh, boy.
No, and it'll be.
God.
This will be very controlled. I
Oh yeah.
This will be
without question.
Now he can go off script, and you can tell when he's reading something he didn't write. His cadence is different. His tone is different.
It sounds presidential.
So that's boner candidate number 1. 4. Boner candidate number 2. After the hurricane, deaf people should watch out for monsters and bears. There's video of this too, which is also funny. An amateur interpreter for the deaf was tapped at the last minute to provide sign language during a press conference, and things got out of hand. Wah, wah, wah. Before Hurricane Irma ripped through Florida, Manatee County leaders were preparing to address the public with, quote, crucial information. That's when, in a pinch, they called Marshall Green to communicate using sign language. Green, a lifeguard for the county, who apparently on his application said, yeah, I speak sign language.
You know, like you do with your resumes, you
pat it.
You pat them.
Sure.
And he knows a little bit of sign language.
His brother is sign language.
His brother's deaf.
Yeah.
He veered off course, and the video is funny because it shows you what he's signing compared to what is actually being said. He began signing words like pizza and bear and monster, among others, and nonsensical sentences. Charlene McCarthy said, I knew something went horribly wrong. This is a company that regularly provides interpreters for the county. So if they had called, they'd, but this was like an emergency. And does anybody here speak sign language? Yeah, it was not even.
I bet he was bullied into it, though. Right?
No,
like, no, you know. And he's like, no, I really don't know.
No.
I would prefer not to.
I bet he was worried he was going to get caught for lying on his resume and said, yeah, and hoped nobody would notice. That's what I bet.
Are the words close? Like, is the word for sign for monster close to, like, as you see the you see the video? Like, was he really close?
I don't know.
Because you hear about it, like with
You're
people
giving
that
him
go
the
to
benefit of the doubt.
people that go to foreign languages, foreign
No.
countries, and speak the and it's like the intonation of the word is different between. No. Okay.
Pizza is not the same as evacuate.
Well, interesting choice.
Boner candidate number 3 coming up in a moment. They say shed, we say playhouse.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 after this here Big Boy News, brought to you by.
Check out the Best Friends No Kill Utah Pet Super Adoption in Farmington this weekend, where you can meet hundreds of adoptable cats and dogs all in one place. Go to bestfriendsutah.org for more information.
I don't know if you follow Kevin Hart on Instagram.
I do not.
Should I?
Well, you missed an interesting weekend.
Yeah, he was having some troubles.
Comedian actor Kevin Hart took to Instagram Saturday to apologize to his wife and children for his participation in a sexually suggestive tape that he says is being used to extort him. TMZ is reporting that Kevin Hart, star of, Central Intelligence, and he's stand-up.
He's one of the biggest comedians in America right now.
Can be seen, quote, getting cozy with an unidentified woman in a video, engaging in activity that, quote, looks like a prelude to sex.
Well.
TMZ sources claim the woman on the tape has demanded money from the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
A Hart rep says law enforcement's gotten involved in the investigation. Rather than pay, however, Hart took to social media to come clean about his, quote, mistakes and publicly refused the extortion attempt. Because Kevin Hart has a lot of money.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I just simply have got to do better, he said, but I'm also not going to allow a person to have financial gain off my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that was what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes. Hart had to address rumors about his infidelity numerous times in the last several months, the most recent coming in August when his ex-wife accused him of cheating on her with his now wife, which he denied. But so
the person who released the tape, the extorter, released a statement saying, I'm doing it for 2 reasons. One, because he's a bad person for doing this to his wife, and 2, to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He admits it. Yeah.
So this is something that he did currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah.
So.
And he did it.
Yeah.
But the woman, recorded it on purpose with the sole purpose of I'm gonna get some money out of him. But he is also a dog. Covina, California, police say a man with a knife tried to rob a Southern California pizza restaurant just a few hours after burglars had already robbed it. Covina Police Lieutenant Trevor Gomer says that the burglars broke into the Pizza Chalet, which
Go ahead.
It's not a good name for a pizza restaurant. The Pizza Chalet.
Sounds too fancy.
And they made off with $1,500. As the owner was cleaning up after the burglary, less than 3 hours later, a knife-wielding man walked in and demanded money. The owner's like, 3 hours ago, all my money's gone.
Can you go next door? Come on.
The owner flagged down an officer who had been providing help for the earlier burglary. Hey, could you come back over here for a minute?
Yeah, we got one already. Thanks.
Gomer says the suspect, a 19-year-old Ernest Ramirez, didn't listen to the officer's order to give himself up and fought with the officers briefly until he was subdued. He was treated for minor injuries at the scene.
I've got this. I'm betting you don't have this, Gina. Tonight over at City Creek Park here in Salt Lake. So you know where City Creek Park is. It's diagonal from the church office building in downtown Salt Lake. It is the gayest bake sale ever. This is a demonstration, fundraiser in response to the LDS Church, as well as 22 of the 24 senators for the state of Utah aligning with, the baker, the Colorado, that whole thing. So if you are interested in baked goods, want to be a part of that cause, it is the gayest bake sale ever. City Creek Park tonight from 5 p.m. until 7:30.
All right. Thank you.
Time for more? Or
Yeah, another story.
Let's see. New Port Richey, Florida.
It's so much better than old Port Richey.
It is, really. Meet Rebecca Lynn Phelps. She's a 30-year-old Floridian, and she's been jailed on a battery charge after she allegedly became angry and struck a male acquaintance in the face when he declined to have sex with her, cops report. Officers responded to Phelps's Newport Richey home around 2 a.m. You knew it was 2 a.m. This kind of thing doesn't happen at 3 in the afternoon. Phelps and the victim had been drinking outside her residence when she, quote, started to get mad with the victim because he did not want to have sexual relations with her.
Okay.
Phelps then allegedly started to scream and smack him because that'll get him to change his mind.
Yeah, it's foreplay.
Is this hot?
Phelps, but don't you want to hear the actual conversation?
Yes. People's thought processes in these stories just fascinate me because it's like you go from here to here, you know?
So do you want to? No, not really.
No, I'm good.
What do you mean you don't want to?
I'm just not feeling it.
Don't you don't find me attractive?
That's when you go, okay.
I can't believe you don't want. You really don't want it. No.
No, I'm sorry.
But come on.
No, I'm
just.
No,
we don't
I'm.
have to tell anybody.
No, I'm not.
You don't think I'm pretty, do you?
No, that's not it at all. I'm just not feeling it.
My boobs are not big enough for you.
No, I'm just not feeling it.
I know.
Gina and I have actually had this conversation a long time ago.
I felt very intrusive right there for a minute. I was like, geez.
During police questioning, Phelps said nothing happened and she didn't know what caused the man to bleed. He just started bleeding.
That happens.
A witness who was inside the residence, so there were other people there. At the time of the confrontation, told police that he heard the victim yell, "Please stop hitting me." She was arrested for misdemeanor battery, booked into the county jail. The judges ordered her to have no contact with the victim. I think he doesn't want that contact at all, so not a problem.
Is it terrible that I looked her up because I wanted to see what she looked like?
And?
Is it time for sports?
Sure. Sports, weather, traffic.
I'll do some of all of that. Brought to you by Bad Apple. They're introducing low price guarantee on iPhone screen repair. Just bring the advertised price from another business and Bad Apple will beat it. Now they have 10 locations across the Wasatch Front. Locations and more at badapplerepair.com. So a couple things in sports. This is just sort of interesting. No one will know who this player is, but his name is Lawrence Timmons. He plays for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
And, he was going to play in the football game yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, he just didn't show up. Does anybody know where he is? He wasn't arrested. Wasn't foul play.
Are they worried about?
A little bit.
But,
but there's something that nobody is talking about. So that's kind of fascinating. More details to develop. We'll keep an eye on that for you. And then also, if you're a Tom Brady hater,
yep.
He gave you more reasons to hate him, perhaps yesterday. In the first quarter of yesterday's game, the New Orleans Saints, the New England Patriots, Tom Brady threw 3 touchdowns in the first quarter for the first time. So, better than he's ever been.
That doesn't make up for his terrible game against the Chiefs, though. So, I'm not impressed.
In the first quarter, 11 for 15, 177 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Not impressed.
Yeah, no big deal, says Gina. That's sports. Weather. This is brought to you by introducing Del Taco's new Queso Blanco, a creamy blend of real cheese and peppers. Try it on nachos, fries, burritos, and more. Delicious queso from a drive-thru. That's unfreshing believable. Participation may vary. Today is fall. Tomorrow is less fall, and Friday it's like 53 degrees.
I
Just
don't know
cold.
what is he saying?
It's going to get cold.
Okay.
We don't get fall long enough in this state. We do summer for a really long time and winter for a really long time.
It's true. It'll be in the 50s for a high on Friday. That's cold.
Okay. Thank you.
And then traffic. SR 2001, as you make your way in towards Salt Lake, there's still that accident at 2000 West. As you come out of Weber Canyon, there are still delays there at the mouth as you come into Ogden. And then also northbound I-15 at 2700 South. All those are on the right-hand lanes and all causing between 5 and 15 minutes of delays. That's traffic.
Thank you.
Voter candidate number 3, they say shed, we say playhouse. I think, I know we've had on Musco's homeowners associations before. They're horrible people.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see. This is in a place called Blue Springs, Montana. No, Missouri, sorry. Blue Springs, Missouri. A tiny house sits at the center of a huge controversy in a Rock Hill neighborhood in Blue Springs. The pink playhouse belongs to Bobby Goolsby, who bought the structure for her 6-year-old granddaughter, Emma.
All right.
Ask anybody, they'll tell you she's everything to our family, Goolsby said. The family almost lost Emma to a serious autoimmune disorder. Now, because of her illness, Emma goes to her playhouse each day for breathing treatments. It's my world, she says of the tiny pink house, but Emma's world is at risk of being taken away. The Rock Hill Homeowners Association claims the playhouse violates its, quote, no shed policy. Our HOA bylaws say you can't have a shed. It doesn't say anything about a playhouse, Goolsby said. Goolsby told the news that both she and her realtor were told they could bring the playhouse to the neighborhood, so this is something they had already had before. They asked before buying the house. It was so important that they have it. But an email sent on Sunday to the Homeowners Association said the playhouse had to go, adding, we would prefer not take legal action, but we'll move forward if this is not resolved.
The rule was for those ugly, like tough shed or tin shed kind of things.
Right.
That was what they meant, but somebody's being a dick.
Yeah. This is a cute little playhouse. Yes. And this is, so the 6-year-old girl has these breathing treatments she has to do, which are probably not very comfortable, and she probably doesn't want to do them. So you say, oh, but we get to go to the playhouse. And, it's a little...
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see a picture of it. And that's a cute little structure.
Yeah, it's tidy. It's not...
Someone's being a dick.
Yeah.
But the problem is, so let me take the other side of it, though. The problem is that you allow structures like that, and then you have the crappy shed on the side of the house, because you can't quantify it, right? It has to be a place that's built.
You can go and say, yes, we're going to let the little girl with the cute, tidy pink playhouse be okay. No, your crappy shed has to go. They can do that.
No, because then people, it sucks, and I don't agree with it. But it is a thing where people, will take advantage of it, and then they keep their junky car on the side of their house.
Richie's a new homeowner, and now he thinks he knows.
Because I don't have an HOA on, because I'm a city resident, right? And there are people 4 houses down whose house is terrible. It's terrible, and they can't do anything about it beyond just, controlling where they...
It's up for the boner voter to decide.
I know which one I'm voting for.
All right.
Boner candidate number 1, did he yell 4? Boner candidate number 2, after the hurricane, deaf people should watch out for monsters and bears. And boner candidate number 3, they say shed, we say playhouse.
All right, let's go. It's round 2. You've got to decide which of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Just because it wins here doesn't mean it's boner of the day. It's got to face the winner from round 1. We'll do all that at 9:25. So 1, 2, or 3. Right now, you decide which one of these 3 is the worst. Put that number of the candidate in the message of your text, and then text that to 33986. Easy. You can call, use your voice, 877-602-9696, or go to x96.com. Look for the box that says Round 2, September 18, and vote there. If you do not see said box, refresh. It should appear. All right, you got like 4 minutes is all. So get your vote in. Here we go. It's round 2.
I'd like the Cajun grilled chicken sandwich plain. I just want the chicken and the bun. No cheese, no mayonnaise, no lettuce, tomato, onions, coleslaw. And can I get onion rings instead of fries?
Yeah.
And can I get bacon on that?
Bacon? Did you want to do the chicken club instead of the Cajun chicken?
No, you don't understand.
What was your name again? Kristen, you see, this is not a radio bit. You need to know that this is the way she really is, and no one believes us.
Okay.
So we thought if we got it on tape, people would finally believe it.
All right. Did you want the Cajun seasoning?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like the spicy Cajun mustard mayonnaise on the side.
Mayo on the side.
Don't put it on the sandwich.
No, I won't. No, trust me, I won't.
Thank you.
And the cheese?
No cheese.
No cheese.
No
at all.
cheese. No, just chicken.
Okay. All right.
Chicken bacon bun.
Onion
And
rings.
again, we're not trying to be difficult just for the radio. This is real.
All right. Thank you.
I'm so very sorry.
That's all right. Don't be sorry. I would like to say I've had worse, but that's probably the worst.
And how long have you worked here?
Here, 6 months, but
Dealing with tourists every day and their weird ordering habits, this is the worst. I want it on record, ladies and gentlemen. It's from an official professional waitress. I'm the worst. And again, this is no exaggeration.
Congratulations, Gina. Congratulations.
You've earned your spot in the Hard Rock Hall of Fame.
She's here to get married, by the way.
oh, congratulations.
And she's marrying a guy named Joe Jones. Maybe you as our waitress. I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Kristen.
Maybe Kristen, you as our waitress, you could warn Joe that it's still not too late.
Because I've been saying it every day, every hour, ever since we heard about this.
That's sad.
Yeah. That's what we think.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this round of boner voting brought to you in part by broccoli. You damn right I had broccoli.
Yeah?
What? Oh. Was it broccolini? Was it broccoli Rob?
No.
Were you chopping broccoli?
just broccoli.
Was it dipped in ranch?
No.
I don't believe this then.
Yeah,
It's true. My husband will back me up.
All right.
I only eat his broccoli.
Okay.
Well, now. Wink.
Broccoli and anything?
Nope,
anyone?
nothing else.
Nope, you're good.
Oh, really?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Boner candidate number 1. Did he yell for? We don't usually do a Trump boner, but Bill wasn't himself this morning when he selected this one, and it's a good one. Donald Trump tweeting out, retweeting something from a Twitter handle I can't even repeat on the radio. Him hitting a golf ball and it hitting someone like Hillary. It's a video. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 2. After the hurricane, deaf people should watch for monsters and bears. This is a guy not really qualified to do sign language during the hurricane, but he did it anyway and signed wrong words. And boner candidate number 3, they say shed, we say playhouse. This is sick little girl, has a playhouse. Homeowner association is evil and says they have to get rid of it. Our T-shirt winner was Amy, and I'm kind of surprised, but overwhelming winner, boner candidate number 3. They say shed, we say playhouse.
That's what I thought. All right. Thank you. That one will go forward to Boner Fight at 9:25. It'll go up against the winner of round 1. It may possibly become Boner of the Day. Is this sponsored?
Of course. Geek News on the Radio is brought to you by our friends at Cabin Fever. From action figures, playing cards, jigsaw puzzles, and gift books, Cabin Fever carries a large selection of licensed merchandise. They're located in the heart of Trolley Square at the corner of 5th South and 7th East. It's Cabin Fever. They are so much more than a card store.
A brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available right now. It's called Dead Man's Rum, where we drank the rum that I found in Dad's house.
Secret hidden stash.
Yeah. Unopened bottle.
And?
From 83.
You got to listen to the podcast to find out.
Gotta listen.
All right.
Let's see now. Of course, Geek Show doing a live event here at 50 West, directly below our studios.
RSVP? Do you have to do that?
No, just show up. It's free, and it's at Club 50 West. It's on Saturday night. So when you're done with your con stuff, you can just walk a block, just south of the Salt Palace and come and join us. It's free to get in. We're going to do a live podcast.
Will there be beverages?
They are available because
for purchase.
There's a bar down there, so
okay.
And food as well. So tip your servers because it's a free event. Of course, raising a glass to Harry Dean Stanton.
in many of your geek movies.
Yes.
Alien.
He was Brett in Alien. He was in Escape from New York, of course. He was also in The Last Temptation of Christ.
Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink, Dad.
Jeez.
You don't ever talk about that on your show, do you?
But no. But Repo Man is the one. He said it was one of his favorite roles, and that was the role that kind of got him noticed by Hollywood, and he got a lot more mainstream stuff after that. He said he could have been a lot more famous, but he just didn't like to work that much. So, all right. It still ruling the box office. It is gigantic, making all the money in the world. And they're already talking about the Blu-ray and digital HD release. And the producer, Barbara Machete, and her brother is the director, Andy Machete. They have announced that there will be probably an extra 15 minutes of footage when it's released.
That's a lot.
You know, just for your hardcore fans.
Now, because it's a two-parter, right? Because the one that's in theaters now is just them as kids. So it will come in a year or so, the adult part. They haven't announced that yet?
They haven't started work. Well, I mean, they're writing it right now.
Okay, so they'll put this out on Blu-ray.
Oh, this will be
just
out.
This one, not they won't wait for the second. Okay.
Yeah, this will be out in a couple of months.
Okay.
An extra 15 minutes of footage. The Machetes teased two of the scenes they're likely to put forward. They said there's a great scene, a playoff of the Stanley Uris plot, which is at the bar mitzvah, where he delivers a speech against all expectations. We had to trim it, but we're going to put it back in. The other one is in the quarry during the scene where everyone works up the courage to jump into the water in their underwear. They said that they had to trim it, you know, but there was an elaborate.
So it's not going to be.
No, it's not plot necessarily, but it's just stuff that they had to trim for time.
But it was still good.
That they liked, and so they wanted to put it back in. So.
And I'm wondering. So apparently, Mother just did. Horribly. But I'm wondering if it's because of it. Because I'm guessing the sort of person that wants to go to it might be the same person that they're, you know, kind of creepy, scary.
Now, there is a thing called Cinema Score that you can look it up. And Mother got an F.
Really? Now, is that from critics or from what?
Cinema Score is different. Like Rotten Tomatoes, it's still up in the fresh ranking for Mother. But I read some stuff about Mother. And I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
I read pretty much the plot and what happens and all of that. If you are squeamish at all, and I'm not even talking about blood. I'm talking about squeamish for certain situations.
Okay.
Faint of heart, don't go.
Okay.
Because there's, I mean, I can tell you when we're off the air.
Okay, yeah, now I want to know.
What happens at the end that is making people angry. People are walking out of the theater angry at Mother. I'm
so angry.
Anyway, so I would just say avoid it if you have any doubt at all.
Yeah, this says very few films have ever received a failing grade.
Yeah, on Cinema Score.
But they gave it an F.
All right, now I'm not a fan of books.
Yeah, you don't got time for books.
Comic books are what I like.
Yeah.
I like the pictures. I'm going to buy a book.
You're going to buy a book?
I'm buying a book.
Is it like for your coffee table so people think you read?
I'm going to read this book.
Okay.
It's out October 3rd, and it's called Star Wars from a Certain Point of View. What it is it's got 40 stories in it, written by different people.
Okay.
And it featured, 40 different in-canon short stories to celebrate the franchise's 40th anniversary. Many of the book's authors just revealed the titles and the subjects of their stories, leading up to it. But now they're letting you know what the stories are about and who they're about. For example, there's one called Time of Death, written by Cavan Scott, and here's how he described it.
Okay.
My name is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I am dead. I know how that sounds, crazy old Ben with his crazy old stories, but this isn't crazy. This is happening. At least I think it is. So you're getting the story of Ben after he was struck down by Vader.
And then how he can still see what's going on and communicate with...
The whole Force Ghost thing. So you're getting that. You're getting a story about Wurr the bartender from the cantina. You're getting a story of Captain Antilles, the pilot of the Tantive 5, and his story will go between Rogue One and A New Hope.
Huh.
You're also getting a Boba Fett story. I'll come back to that one in a second.
Okay.
You're getting a story that takes place during the New Hope medal ceremony. You're getting the story of the stormtrooper who captured Princess Leia. You're getting a story.
But these are all short. They've got to be
They're
short
all short stories. Yeah,
They're all
short stories. Now there is an audiobook of this.
So why wouldn't you just get that and listen to it?
Well, here's some. I prefer to read it myself, but the Boba Fett book story is written by Paul Dini, and it's called Added Muscle. Now they've got actors to portray these characters in the audiobook.
Okay.
Care to guess who's playing Boba Fett? You won't. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
John Hamm.
Really?
John Hamm is playing.
John Hamm is Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
That destroys everything you think.
So
about.
there's, like Jonathan Davis, Ashley Eckstein, Neil Patrick Harris. They're all doing voices on.
Richie gets as excited about Neil Patrick Harris as I get about John Hamm.
I mean, you're getting a story about R5D4. Do you know who that is?
This seems pretty inside. Really inside.
R5D4 is in A New Hope the red R2 unit that Uncle Owen originally buys, and then it blows up.
Yeah, and so he turns and goes.
So you're getting an R5D4 story.
Well, we needed one.
Lord knows I needed to know his motivation.
His backstory.
But yeah, I'm buying a book. So anyway, all right, there you go.
Quick look at traffic. This is not brought to you by anyone. I thought there were. Anyway, westbound I-84, right as you come out of the mouth of Weber Canyon, there is still that accident there on the right-hand side, causing a little bit of delay for those people going into Ogden. There's a new crash southbound I-15 around 104th South. It's on the left-hand side, so you're going to be sandwiched between that exit not being open and everyone not realizing it, and the accident on the left-hand side. It's giving you between 10 and 20 minutes of delay. And then I-80, there's a stalled vehicle around State Street on I-80, and that's causing some delay there on the right-hand side. So that's your traffic.
Thank you very much. And if you'd like to talk about Star Wars with Star Wars fans, Salt Lake Comic-Con is certainly where you do that. They're excited about the R5D4 story.
They know. You could say that, and they're like, I know exactly who you're talking about. And I'm cosplaying as him at the con.
That's right. I have a bad motivator. I can play him.
I have a bad motivator. Yay.
Sorry.
I know, I got it.
For some people. SaltLakeComicCon.com is the website, of course. Don't miss out on the 5th annual Salt Lake Comic-Con, September 21st through the 25th. That's this weekend. It starts on Thursday at the Salt Palace Convention Center. All the celebrities are going to be there. If you go to their website, you can see who's going to be there. What I like is not just the big names, but you've got comic book authors and artists there. Go see them. They're fascinating to talk to. I mean, maybe you've thought about being an artist. Go and talk to these guys. They've got tips. They've got pointers for you. Writers are there as well. If you're a writer, go and talk to them. But, of course, there's Dick Van Dyke and Elijah Wood and John Bernthal and Stephen Amell and Val Kilmer and John and Joan Cusack, and all the big names are there as well. But, yeah, go to some of the panels. It's just a good time for 3 days. Hundreds of talented art and merchandise vendors, and it's at the Salt Palace. It starts on Thursday. Get the full lineup, purchase tickets, saltlakecomiccon.com. Salt Lake Comic Con is presented by Wasatch Front Subaru Retailers and Subaru of America, Inc.
3 days of live music, including...
Recently on the Rachel Ray Show, she was promoting her new fragrance, which she calls Fancy. It's $85. She sprayed some in the air and then started naming all the benefits. The main one was that it allows you to fart and nobody can smell it.
That's a selling point?
That's what she said. She said if you're in an elevator and you're wearing this perfume,
She's a classy one.
Do they have a guy's version? Because, boy, I tell you, I'm holding...
You want to wear something called fancy?
I'm holding one back right now, and I don't want to...
Go ahead.
I don't want to
No,
hurt
don't-
you guys.
no,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go on.
Why?
Do it.
Go
do
outside.
it. Come on,
Don't.
chicken. Come on, do it.
Don't.
Do it.
Not chicken. I'm just not sure you really want
Do
that.
it.
Why do you want him to do that?
Do it. I don't believe him. I don't believe he's holding one.
I believe
and
he
I don't-
always has one ready.
And I don't believe.
I believe he
Just
can...
put the microphone down.
Don't do it. I'll leave the room.
There. And I don't believe it's going to be as bad as you say.
What, you weren't serious?
That's the lowest we have ever sung on the radio.
And I didn't even go all the way.
Oh, man.
There's more.
That's dangerous. Yeah, he did. I made him. I made him.
You know how I am with peer pressure. Here, Carrie, have a drink. Here, Carrie, fart. Pull my finger. Listen, it started when I was a kid. It started when I was a kid. My dad used to make me pull his finger.
He did. I don't smell anything. Seems fine.
It'll circulate.
Well,
yeah.
Okay,
It'll come around.
maybe we'd better take a break.
I haven't been eating much meat lately, so.
Oh, jeez. Well,
For someone that just
that was really
tuned into
good.
the show for the first time,
I know,
just
they would-
now,
We don't usually do that.
We've lost them forever.
Usually, we're.
Do you think? You don't think that they could forgive us just this one?
I can't forgive you.
Now, long-time listeners of the Radio from Hell show, if you'd like to call us now.
Listen, I was goaded into it.
I did.
Hope
I
you're
pushed
both
him.
happy.
He was calling me names. He
I
was
pushed
pointing
him.
at me.
I pushed him. It's a good thing there wasn't a cliff.
I'm glad we don't have a sponsor for the boner right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll ever have
Nope.
one either after that. Oh, my God.
He made me. All right. Uh-oh.
Weather?
Somebody just texted and says, well, that's why you guys have a new three-year contract.
And Sue just texted in, I am so proud to be your wife
Your bags
right now.
are on the porch.
I also just got a texter that says, I can smell it from here.
It really is bad.
Is it?
Well, I've been holding it all morning. I haven't had a chance to leave.
I know what that's like.
I figure I'd be fine until, at 10.
Yeah.
It really started to kink up, and then you talked about that perfume.
Oh, God, I can't believe you did that.
Now, listen, how do you guys know it wasn't just a recording
It
of a
wasn't.
fart?
He put the
Shut up.
microphone down.
Shut up. It could have just been a recording of a fart. You don't know.
You don't, but I'm here to tell you it wasn't.
Well, see, these guys are selling it. They're acting.
Nope. That was real.
Oh, man.
Great.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Don't.
Yeah, it was. It was real.
Told you.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do it
No.
All right.
I don't have one, or I might.
Is it like yawning? It just, once somebody does it, everybody
It's
just
contagious.
No.
just
I
jumps
got.
in and...
No.
Okay. All right.
my little daughter, who is 4, she takes amusement in her father's flatulence.
Is this a daily occurrence?
Oh God, yes. And I use the dumb old dad jokes of it's a farting or it's a barking spider.
Barking spider.
And she'll always go, "It's not a barking spider, Dad. That's a foding spider."
My dad always said it was a buck snort.
Buck. Or sometimes I'll say that bear's been following us around, or did somebody step on a duck? Yeah. Is the other one.
Hear that? Buck snort.
Yeah. She likes the duck one too. But she also is occasionally flatulent. And I was lying on her bed with her, reading her a story, as I do fairly often, before she went to bed, and she just ripped.
She ripped a good one, huh?
Just ripped one.
Daddy's little girl.
Yeah. And I
so
said,
like us. I learned it from watching you.
I said, honey, that was.
Did you high five her?
High five.
That was a loud one, and she said, "It sounded like a door closing."
She means like the creak of the door.
And I said it did kind of, and she said, "A door with rusty hinges." Ouch! I just thought
she's creative.
I thought that was the best. So,
our children are learning from you.
So now it's just hey, did somebody close a door with rusty hinges?
Somebody oil those hinges.
I just thought that was the best. A door.
Get some 3-in-1 oil on those hinges.
So that was it. It's just one of those. Kids say the darndest
they
things.
Sure do.
That's you too, because you couldn't see them in St. Louis.
They canceled
because of riots.
Well, they had to. They said that
police said we're busy.
Police said we can't properly protect y'all, and well, there was 2 big shows in St. Louis.
Was there another? I know the U2 one. What else?
Yeah, there was another one.
She mentioned it in check-ins in the 6 o'clock hour. I can't remember.
I can't remember who it was. But yeah, there were 2 big shows.
This just came across on Twitter. The St. Louis mayor said the days have been calm and the nights have been destructive. So things settle down during the day and then get crazy at night.
Yeah, 80 people arrested in St. Louis overnight last night. Yep. Speaking about big music experiences, all this week, and I believe next week, but I know this week for sure, at 9, 2, and 5, we're going to be giving keywords for you to fly away to New Orleans to a big music festival with bands like Foo Fighters, The Killers, LCD Sound System, The Head and the Heart, Cold War Kids, and so on and so on. So you got to be listening for a keyword. And just for qualifying for the whole thing, you're going to get 2 tickets to go see Sublime with Rome and The Offspring at USANA Amphitheater, and that's coming up on the 30th of September. You can get your tickets on sale now at all SmithTix locations and SmithTix.com. So you got to listen for the keyword, and then you text that keyword to 33986. The keyword for the 9 o'clock hour today is sirens. SIRENS. The 96th texter to text the word sirens to the number 33986 will get qualified with those Sublime with Rome and Offspring tickets. So good luck.
It was Ed Sheeran.
That's right.
It was the other one that's canceled. in St. Louis last night because of that. All right. Let's see. Now we've got Boner Fight coming up.
Uh-huh.
Before that, a little bit of news.
Uh-huh.
So stand by for all of those.
I'm ready.
You good still?
Yeah. I think it's important to do somebody else's job once in a while. Just to...
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about doing Bill's job with the news?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to, like when you fill in for Carrie and run
Right.
the board and you're like...
Yeah, there's a few things that would make this easier,
hard.
and I have empathy towards Carrie.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, can I be the boss then?
Sure.
Okay, Vaughn?
You be the boss for the... And you know what? I bet, seriously...
Here I come. The firings start.
I bet you would have his job and you'd go, man, this is awful. I'm glad I don't have this job.
I bet there are some parts you'd really love, actually.
The firing part.
Firing. This has been a long time coming. It'll be the first thing I say. You have been here for...
You're going to line people up
Line
outside
them
the
up.
office. Okay, next one.
Next.
The next one.
All right, so all that and more on the way. Park City Culinary Institute.
In Salt Lake City.
In Salt Lake City. You got to follow, because that's where it is. It's right down there on State Street.
Yeah, 1484 South State Street. A couple things they have going on there. So you can learn how to cook from them.
Educational. You can take the full course and become a chef, or just classes.
Yeah, they have Michelin star rated chefs that have cooked for James Beard, Food Network. So these are people that know what they're doing. You can train and cook for there. Maybe you're looking for a career doing that. Maybe you just want to learn for your home.
Yeah, I want to learn how to make pasta.
Now, people are starting to plan their parties for Christmas already, believe it or not. You can book a party there, holiday dinner party. You can cook together, build your teams, have a unique experience, and you can have alcohol there too.
It was a great time.
Just need to call them 435-659-5075, or you go to parkcityculinaryinstitute.com. It's in Salt Lake City.
Strong Volkswagen and X9.
All right, so we're downtown now. We're Broadway media.
Yeah.
Because our building is on Broadway.
Yeah.
Third South.
Third South. Now, the mayor has taken an awful lot of time and money to build very special bicycle lanes.
Yes.
Here on Third.
Dedicated.
They're very nice.
Dedicated. So I'm walking down Broadway yesterday, and here comes a bike rider toward me on the sidewalk.
Jerk.
On the sidewalk.
He's on the sidewalk, riding his bike down the sidewalk, coming towards me.
Wienermobile! Sorry. For some reason, the Wienermobile's outside. I'm sorry.
I knew she'd do that. I ignored it.
You ignored the Wienermobile?
I did.
You know, you can acknowledge in your head the Wienermobile when someone's in the middle of telling a story.
I'm sorry.
You know.
It's on 3rd South, Broadway, where your story takes place.
So the bike's coming toward you.
Bike's coming toward me on the sidewalk.
Tell the story to me and shut up, Mike.
Yeah. And so and this is exactly how I did it. I wasn't a jerk about it. I wasn't, hey! I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
I went like this. Bike lane. You could use the bike lane. Said it exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as the guy zipped past me, he yells, F off.
Hug off.
I mean, why? I would think you would prefer to use the bike lane.
Sure.
Why would it be more attractive to drive down the sidewalk than
sort of
the bike lane?
What could you tell? What sort of
it was
biker and
well, he was casual, I think.
Was
because
it a hipster or was it
was
a guy?
Kind of a hipster.
Or was it a DUI guy?
It was a mountain bike, younger guy, no helmet.
Not a DUI guy.
No. But then a minute later, so I just kept walking. A minute later, he scoots right up next to me.
Were you nervous?
And I'm like, I didn't know what to think.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Dude, I listen every morning. That was an awesome interaction.
He turned around and came back.
He realized who it was that he had just told to hug off. Yeah.
And I went, okay. I just, the mayor spent an awful lot of time and money on that bike lane. I just thought you might want to use it, is all.
Mm-hmm.
Did he explain why?
He rambled about how he's a passenger, he's a rider, he's a pedestrian, he just goes wherever, some sort of crazy.
Oh, he's like...
It didn't make any sense, and I just kept walking. So.
But he turned around and
came back.
Did he apologize?
Did not apologize. I think that was his way of apologizing.
Saying I listen to your show.
Saying I listen to your show every morning after I tell you to F off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I might have said, that doesn't make it okay.
I didn't care to interact anymore. Once he started going on about how he's a pedestrian and a passenger and all that.
Doesn't make any sense.
I went, okay, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
From Hell on X96.
All right, 9:20 right now. Boner fight coming up in a bit, but first, a little bit of news.
A little bit of news brought to you by Black Turtle. They're hiring full and part-time customer service representatives with competitive pay that includes health and welfare benefits. If you are remarkable and looking for a great new opportunity, apply with Black Turtle online today at jointheturtle.com. That's jointheturtle.com.
Authorities say an Indiana man who robbed a gas station made off with food, drinks, cigarettes. What he didn't steal was gas. The Northwest Indiana Times reports that a state trooper arrested 33-year-old Sean Harris on Wednesday after finding him stranded by the side of a two-lane highway and his vehicle out of gas.
Oh.
Police say the South Bend area man's blood alcohol level was way above the legal limit. Authorities say Harris was arrested not long after he entered the gas station. implied he had a gun, took the items, and then got not very far away and ran out of gas. Richie, I saw you posting something similar to this weekend. A Northern Ireland driver's rude parking job raised the ire of a fellow driver who decided to leave a helpful note about how parking lots work.
Yeah.
A photo posted on the Idiot Drivers Northern Ireland group on Facebook. It's a whole group on Facebook. Shows a dark-colored sedan parked lengthwise across 3 perpendicular parking spots.
I just want to get dings in the side of his door.
And so somebody left a note explaining how to park.
Were there all sorts of expletives like the one that was left for me?
No, but that's what I was going to ask. Where were you and how were you parked, and do you deserve the note you got?
Okay, so it wasn't as egregious as that, but I was driving my girlfriend's truck because we were moving stuff from my mom's house. She's completely moved off of South Mountain, moving some stuff around in the valley, selling it, whatever. It was over at Trolley Corners, so you remember that's where the radio station used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled into a spot. Now, in fairness to me, I was within the white lines of a parking spot.
You weren't?
I was not crossed over a line. I was not out into the thing. But in fairness to the person who left the many expletive note on the car, like it was angled. I was angled within the lot because it's a large truck, and I would have had to 20 points to go back out to get it straight into the spot. But I was within, and I wish I would have taken a picture within the 2 white lines of the parking stall.
That's mad enough to take the time to write a note and leave a note.
Yeah, well, Kerry didn't see this because he doesn't follow me on social media because we're just work friends. It says, you hugging... in fact, maybe Dylan has got a picture of it, but you hugging a... hole, learn how to park. You know, it's all capitalized to show the emphasis on how angry it is.
Because how mad this person is, they had to go through their car, look for a piece of paper, find a pen. I mean, that's mad.
Here's why I will not side with you.
Because it's me.
Well, there's that. But when we worked over there, Trolley Corners, remember when this company used to own the Arrow, and John Carter was the morning guy.
Right.
And John has a big truck, a very big truck. And he was very conscientious about, he would do the 20-point thing
to get it
do
just
the parking.
right.
He would do that.
It's possible to do.
Yeah, it is possible to do. It just takes a little bit longer. So
I was in and out, and the reason why I feel justified about it is I was in there for 7 minutes. So I was like, this
That's
is
not
quick.
an excuse.
I'm within the white lines.
That's not an excuse. Because in that 1 minute that person needs to pull out, your 7 minutes, it don't matter.
Right.
You know?
I'm surprised that John Carter remembers how to park. Every time I see John Carter, and I saw him again last week at Target, hi, John. Nothing.
No.
He Bill already me so hard at the Target, and I just was like, you know what?
He's John Carter.
I'm not gonna tell you who I am. I'm just gonna say hey, and I'm gonna walk away from you.
No, I had a woman come up to me, God bless her, at Fresh Market yesterday. Just quickly. This is a little bit of news.
Because I just have a quick one, too.
So here was my yesterday. Puppy class at 10 a.m. Then I'm already kind of gross from puppy class, so I think, well, we're going to go to the wash your own dog wash place because I'm already all doggy. So you go and you're wet and there's hair and that and the thing and then Jonesy had volleyball practice, so I'm still all doggy, and I drive her to volleyball practice. And I think, well, while she's at volleyball practice, I'm going to run into Fresh Market really quick. And a friend of the program, oh, hi, very nice. There with her husband, and love the show, and oh, can I get a picture? And I'm like, my hair's in a clip. I got dog hair all over me. I said, oh, and I said to her, I'm like, hi, I'm all doggy, and oh, it's okay. Oh, come on. And I should have said no picture.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, whoever that friend of the program is, you need to let us see that picture for sure.
It's about as bad as I should ever be out in public anywhere. But to have a picture taken of it.
Well, and I hate to say I did it to Bill again. I was out on this street here, right out in front, taking pictures of the big sign up here.
For the Geek Show?
For Geek Show, so I can put it in our social media, you know. And there was a woman who was just coming out of the station. She'd gotten a prize or something. And she says, hey, are you Bill? I said, no, I'm not Bill. And then she had this look like, I think that's Bill.
That's Bill.
That's Bill, and he's just lying. So,
you're one of the Carrie and/or Bill. I know you are.
All right.
Yeah. So if she's listening, because I think she listens all the time,
Oh,
I need to see the picture. I need to see how horrible it was.
Now back to, they had to go back to the car to find a piece of paper. Here's someone who says, I keep a steno pad just in case someone is a bad parker, and I leave these messages. So maybe it was that situation. I
hope so.
Or a student. I don't know.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
All right.
Okay, you pick these, so now you got to pick again.
She's just put any sort of effort on this whole thing to everybody else. Well, Bill did. Well, this is you.
You pick these.
This is all on you. I think it was because Richie didn't want to stop talking about putting a penis in a weight and getting it stuck there. Trying to pump a little iron. It's a man who stuck his penis in a dumbbell weight and couldn't get it out, so they had to call the firefighters to break it apart to release him. And Boner Candidate number 2, they say shed, we say playhouse. This is the little girl who's sick, who family has a little playhouse for her to help her do her treatments that she needs. And the homeowners association said, no, that's a shed, and you can't have a shed, and you got to get rid of it.
All right. There you go. You've got to decide which one of these two is Boner of the Day. This is Boner Fight. You decide, candidate 1 or candidate 2. Which one is the worst? Put that number of the candidate in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Easy. Call, use your voice, 877-602-9696. You can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight September 18 and vote there. You've only got 300 seconds to do it. Let's go. It is Boner of the Day.
The music.
I haven't dyed my goatee.
Don't. Looks
I'm
stupid.
I'm not going to. You, however, Gina, should.
Dye my goatee?
I think
Is
so.
it embarrassing?
Yeah. It is. It's getting to be embarrassing.
People are talking.
You dye your hair and you dye your eyebrows, but you just let your nose hairs and your and your goatee go. And when you have gray nose hairs and a gray goatee,
I've been nose waxing. I've been going to your nose wax place. Yes. What do you can't tell?
No, I don't make a habit of looking up your nostrils.
Good, I'm glad.
I looked up your old address one time, but I didn't. But I've never looked up your nostrils. Why do you go more than? I mean, I go once every 3 months or
They
something.
call me, don't they call you? It's been about a month since you've been in.
No,
got to get on that frequent waxer program.
There's a punch card.
Have you had Jules do it?
No, because the first time I went to somebody else, and so now I'm on.
Well, see,
her.
I think Jules is kind of a hippie or something.
She's a free spirit.
She doesn't. She does. She said. I think she said one time she'd call me, and then she never does.
No, this girl's like, Valentine's Day's coming up. You might want to get your nose waxed before Valentine's, because that's what you do before.
See, you haven't noticed any hairs hanging out my nose.
Well, it's hard because you've got a mustache, so it's hard to tell where the nose hairs begin and the.
So until it becomes really obvious, I don't have anything. I don't have any need to do it.
What's gross is when it is really obvious, even when you have a mustache. The nose hairs. Because I think some people think, well, I don't need to take care of that.
And it's usually just one rogue hair I'll notice. I'll go, wait a minute. Oh, my God.
That's why I keep tweezers in the car. Best light, Best place to do that
in the car.
In the car with your
Yeah,
visor down in the mirror.
whatever.
The light's great. You can get right up in there.
You might try concentrating on the driving
Well,
part
I'm
of
not
it.
doing it while I'm driving.
What do you?
If you see me in a parking lot, I'm probably plucking a hair out of somewhere.
I'd better pull over and pluck a hair out of something.
You've never looked in that mirror in the bright sunlight and gone, "Oh, I didn't know I had hair there."
Yeah, well, I have, but I can't.
Tweezers in
but,
your car.
But it's only when I'm standing on the seat. That's the only time I've ever
Standing on the
noticed. It's when I'm standing on the seat and bending over to reach something. I didn't know I had hair there.
Wait a minute.
Somebody get me some tweezers and a long arm. So anyway, I guess we ought to start the show.
Thank you.
Ow! I don't tweeze the hairs in my nose because it brings a tear to my eye.
Oh.
Every time I do it, it's like you pull it, and doesn't it do that to you?
Sure.
Doesn't it make your eye go bloop? And
That's how I can get away with seeing Chappie in the theaters, because you know the robot's going to die at some point.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 9:34. Time to award Boner of the Day.
Boner of the Day brought to you in part by a pumpkin chocolate chip cookie. Maybe 1.5.
Are they here?
No. This is dinner last night.
But is there any left over?
No.
They weren't homemade.
Homemade.
What is that?
Every grocery store has stacks of them at the checkout this time of year.
Oh, and you're just picking them up from
Yeah.
there? Oh, okay.
Are you going to the grocery store today?
You want some?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll bring to the show tomorrow. Mauricio Paez brought a thing for us.
Oh, was he in town?
Yes, he'll be watching the show on Wednesday. I didn't bring the thing today because I knew Bill wasn't going to come here, and I know that if we eat it without him, he will never let us hear the end of it.
Boner fight. That's what we do here. Boner candidate number 1 was trying to pump a little iron. Richie had lots of questions and opinions on this one.
Too many.
A guy stuck his penis in a dumbbell weight and had to be released by firefighters. Boner candidate number 2, they say shed, we say playhouse. Homeowners associations are the worst. saying that a little girl with her cute little pink playhouse had to get rid of it because it was technically a shed. We gave a gift card. Was this a Gracie's gift card?
It was a $25 Gracie's gift card.
To Emilio. And fairly handily, and I feel good about this, boner candidate number 2 is our winner. They say shed, we say playhouse.
All right, there you go. That is your boner of the day for Monday, September 18th. It will now be a contender for boner of the week. All right.
So, I live here sort of in the city now, right? My house this week, the upper level of the Homesteadman, hashtag the Homesteadman if you've been following along on social media, will be completed. The entire upstairs.
Like livable.
Like, my friend Stacy, who lives in the basement currently, she'll move upstairs to the master. And then my girlfriend Jessica, she will move to the smaller bedroom upstairs. And then I'll commence in demolishing the basement. But because it's probably where I'm going to end up living, I've decided to start going to the LDS ward that is encompassed in that area. And I mentioned a couple weeks ago on social media that I had been called to the Elders Quorum presidency, which I think is a mistake because that's leadership where people look for me to be an example. But I was just
the last thing that you want.
But I was just the secretary, so I thought, you know what? That's not a big deal. I'm just taking notes. I won't have to make any sort of decisions. But as I was at church yesterday, one of the counselors in the bishopric said, "Hey, do you have a few minutes?" And I was like, "I've already got 2 callings. I don't know what we're doing here." But because it's, inner city, I guess.
They don't have a lot of people
Yeah, they don't have a lot of people. And I said, yeah, I'll sit and I'll talk to you. And I'm thinking maybe it's just to speak in church, but I've already done that one time since I've been there. And he sits me down and he says, "How are you?" I said, "Great. Can we get to the point, please?"
What do you want me to do?
That is the worst with work and with other meetings like that. In fact, I find myself more often than not going, "Listen, these pleasantries are great, but really bottom line me, and then let's talk for the remainder of the time that you want, because I want to know what you want. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not paying attention to whatever you're saying." So I got called to be the ward historian. Wow. So here's what it is, though. They want me to start a podcast for our ward.
Do all wards have podcasts?
I am in the knowledge of no ward that has a podcast. So as much as maybe there's not a lot of people that do callings in this ward is the greatest ward. Like, if there are people that are like, I'm interested in what the church is like and I don't want to be harassed constantly, my ward is the ward to come to just casually observe it.
Who do they think is going to listen to this podcast?
Well, I think my hope is, because they said, that's what we'd like you to do and other historical things, and it's up to you, however you want to do that. And here's the thing. There are people in my ward that are at least 200 years old.
So they know the history of the ward?
See, I was going to bring this up. When you say historian, we're talking stories from old people.
Right.
Which is going to be your podcast,
right?
The Stories from Old People podcast.
Yes.
And the old people won't listen to this podcast because it's a podcast and they don't understand what that is.
Right.
So again, who's this for?
So, and the young people aren't going to listen to the podcast because it's old people telling stories.
But, well, I mean, I guess that's the charge and the challenge at this point is that that's the kind of thing that they would like me to do, a historian in the new age, in the 21st century, something that people would care about so that people can know. Because there are some pretty amazing, old brain surgeons in my ward that are 90.
Probably have stories.
Right.
Sure, but
people that played football when there were leather helmets. Like, it is, story upon story, but somehow I've got to suss it out. Well, you don't have a chance to say no, Gina. That's the Mormon way. I mean, you can, but then you kind of get the... get the stink of no.
But they don't know what a podcast entails and what...
Right. So, again, it's a thing that I can determine what it is and how often. And it's not just that. It's also things like taking pictures and maybe doing a scrapbook. And I can call a committee. So I don't have to do it all by myself.
So you're going to embrace this?
Yeah.
Why don't you just give them the cultural hall and they won't know what... Yeah, here... Here's this podcast.
Listen,
There
I've
you
done this,
go.
completed.
No?
They want it to be ward specific.
If it's that Mormon kid, I swear to God.
So
this is just a bad idea.
Maybe that's why there is no
And
ward
it's-
podcast anywhere.
I'm saying it's a lot of work for something that
Yes.
nobody's going to listen to.
Maybe. But if it's interesting, if it's entertaining, if it's a thing that a couple people within the ward say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that old man funky eyebrows was,"
Yeah, but see, you got to call him old man funky eyebrows.
Well, that's the first episode. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
This is just bad. It's going to take up too much time. I need to hear you want to hear my episode? Here, let me. We get about 3 words at a time, and then we have to wait. How long's the show, Dad? Oh, it's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Because, I had to tell those stories about Vern Pace. I had to tell those stories.
See, but this is partially why I don't have a podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work, and I don't think anybody'd listen to it.
Well, Gina, so here's the other exciting part is the people on my committee don't have to be members of the church, so I'm calling you.
Nope.
Wait, you got to hear it out
Nope.
first.
No, don't. How you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Let me call the host of that podcast and get him. Maybe he could help me find it faster. Because you need to hear this, son. I'm a star. Okay. Oh, there we go. He'll pick up. He'll pick up. It's just a bad idea, Richie. It's just.
Well, we'll see. I'll play around with it some. I'll let you know how it goes.
As long as you call it old people stories.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That's all I need. All right. Hang on.
This is very important.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding through.
Lionel Elgin, our friend.
Baseball announcer.
Baseball announcer extraordinaire.
I've had people asking me about Lionel. What's happened
Well,
to him?
the season started again, and he got another job. He announces baseball on radio stations, and
He keeps getting jobs because he's really good at it.
he is excellent at it. He's very colorful. He loves the players, is the thing. He really, really, really loves baseball players. Really.
Yeah.
A lot.
You'll see what we mean.
This is the latest tape he sent me. He got fired again. And this is what happened. This is the last one that he was at. Here you go. You tell me if he deserved firing or not. I don't know.
So we're set to go here in the third. And what a beautiful day for baseball it is. Like a day in the park, folks. The athletes like cuddly little pets, frolicking, running, jumping, chasing, and retrieving balls. Furry, fuzzy fellas. So here comes Davis now, 0 for 1 today, flying out to right in the first. Notice the way Davis likes to sway back and forth, foot to foot at the plate. First offering from Leaf, fastball strike in the outside corner, 0-1. And as Davis teeter-totters back and forth, one can't help but notice the up and down motion of each cheek of his finely toned hind end. Like 2 pistons in a perfectly timed machine, lubed with oils and perspiration for maximum viscosity. Lee set now, kicks and fires, breaking ball low, 1-1. We call it the show, folks, and no wonder. Dave is very muscular. Also, one of the unfortunate individuals involved in the steroid controversy, being questioned by league officials, of course, Davis denies it. The 1-1 pitch just inside ball 2. I don't personally know much about steroids. I know in most cases they're taken via hypodermic needle. And I'm of the opinion, folks, that if a player wants to stick something in his hind end or have a fellow teammate poke him in the rear, so be it. Who are we to judge? If it helps the game, bend me over and stick it in.
And see, then that's when they went to commercial at that point, and
they fired him.
Then they fired him.
He doesn't get it.
Now, was it his comments about steroids? Is that what the problem was?
That must be it.
Yeah.
You know what
He sounds pro-steroid. And...
You know what the problem is that he needs a color man.
He does. He needs someone in there with him.
He's doing it all by himself.
He needs to do the play-by-play. He needs somebody to do the color.
I think he's capable of doing... Well, he does both, I think, perfectly.
Yeah, he does both, but he needs to...
I'm going to continue to send these to Larry Miller, and hopefully we can get him hired for the Bees, because...
You just like him in town.
Yeah, I think he's an excellent announcer.
I think we got enough of his kind in this town.
Morning show in Utah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, I mean, come on. You know, we'll take what we can get. X96.
All right, it's 9:49 right now.
I'm so excited.
About?
Well, you know how I love Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And he doesn't social media very much.
Yeah.
But when he does,
Hanks
with an X.
The Hanks. Yeah.
Because my favorite thing about Halloween last year was David S. Pumpkins.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot. So funny.
On Saturday Night Live. Any questions? Well, he posted a little line of set direction that leads people to believe that we will have a return of David S. Pumpkins on Saturday Night Live.
Yay!
Not coming right out and saying it, but Saturday Night Live comes back on the 30th of September. So just in time for Halloween.
So when you go to YouTube and you enter the word David, space, and then the letter S, David S. Pumpkins is the first thing.
Yay.
Following, I mean, it beats David Spade, David Schwimmer, David Sedaris.
Yay. Because he's a damn national treasure.
Is he still going to run for president?
No.
But here's the thing. Try to explain that sketch to
You
somebody.
can't. I'm shocked that, because if you've ever watched any behind-the-scenes stuff about how Saturday Night Live works and how they workshop the sketches, that I don't know who came up with that sketch and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. It's a haunted house, and there are different rooms, and in one of the rooms, it's Tom Hanks. Do you have it there?
I'm digging it up.
In one of the rooms, it's Tom Hanks, and he just is this David S. Pumpkins guy that doesn't really do anything.
100 floors of frights. Enter at your own risk.
Do things jump out at you on this ride?
Yeah, babe, it's the scariest ride of Fright Nights.
Good evening. I'm your elevator operator, Mark. Now, please hold on as this ride goes bump in the night.
Oh, don't make fun of me if I scream, okay?
It's 100 floors of frights, babe. I'll probably be screaming too.
Kate McKinnon is a national treasure.
Yes.
For dear death.
Winifred Rogers got cold feet and hung herself in the honeymoon suite. Oh my God.
You totally jumped.
So did you.
Floor 20, home of our 5-star restaurant.
Today's special. Your head!
That was my head! Is that why they take your picture when you enter the park?
I'm not telling. 49th floor.
Oh, no, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
How's it hanging? I'm David Pumpkins, and I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
And the dancing, you try to explain this to people. The two guys in skeleton costumes next to him dancing. And he's in a suit that has jack-o'-lanterns on it.
Any questions?
That's all it is. And it's wonderful.
You don't. Anyway.
It's.
You can't explain that to people.
Anyways, coming back.
Allegedly written by Mikey Day and also by Bobby Moynihan. And it wasn't originally going to be David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah, how did they get the S?
It was just going to be David Pumpkin. And then they started thinking, and it wasn't even going to be what it was with Tom Hanks. It was just going to be a dance thing, or, sans what it actually is. And what happened is they were like, well, it's David S. Pumpkins. Bobby Moynihan added the S, and then they just let Tom Hanks do what he wanted to do, and it became...
Whatever you want to do, Tom Hanks.
The David Pumpkins music is my ringtone. When my phone rings, my 4-year-old tells me it's David Pumpkins.
I just love it. I love that got made, because I can't imagine how you go into a conference room and pitch that, and somebody says, "Yep, let's do."
I would think you'd have to act it out for them.
Yes, Dylan. Dylan knows of such things.
Yes. What?
What? No.
I was going to change the subject.
Oh, what?
I have word from Mr. Bill Allred.
Oh, good. Okay.
I texted him and asked him how he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Okay, did Richie get Mauricio's pie?" Immediately.
See?
And I said,
like
I said, yeah, oh yeah, Richie got the pie. He said, "Did you guys eat it? I want some. Don't eat all that pie." And I said, we were going to wait and see if you felt better tomorrow. If you were going to be here, we would do it tomorrow. And he said, well, this sucks so much. This sucks.
What?
And I'm like, what? What's wrong? How are you feeling? He said, I feel fine. I still can't talk, but the pie. And I said, listen, I will bring you a slice of the pie.
Someone take him a slice of pie.
He wants it today.
I promise
he doesn't want to wait.
It's at Richie's house.
Oh. Yep.
I will bring you a slice of the pie tomorrow.
Does that mean he's not coming in tomorrow?
Unless his voice really makes a miraculous recovery, he can't talk. So
well, and the problem is if he tries to come back too soon,
he'll wear it out.
He'll wear it out, and then he'll be gone longer. So he should take an extra day or two.
Does he need the number of my voice guy?
I'll ask him. Do you need? Carrie has a voice guy.
But basically, they're just going to tell him to rest, to not talk.
Pretty much,
What
yeah.
you need to do is not talk.
This happens to him once a year. It's his once a year voice losing.
And I'm gravelly this morning because I neglected to do my warm-ups in the car on the way up.
Oh, should we do some now? Is it too late?
Let's do the
you
show's
need to do
over.
a promo?
Do we need to start that as part of starting the show in the morning? Is
Maybe.
doing care? I think we need to.
No, I usually
add
remember
that
every
to-
morning, but I was
On this day. Ma, 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 ma.
Do they make you do that? That one. the
If I do all of them, I just do a few.
Okay.
And it's
Gary, you got to do everything they tell you.
Well, again, the reason I stopped going to the guy is he's helping people with real problems. I mean,
if you
there's
don't take this seriously, it's going to be a real
there's
problem.
everything from like he's teaching stroke victims how to speak again and things like that.
You're not taking it seriously.
To a guy who's trying to lose his lisp. I mean, these are important things, and I'm just a dumb radio guy, and I'm okay. So I'll do some of the exercises that he showed me in the car on the way, and I'm
Like
good.
one. Give me one.
I don't want to hurt.
help
I don't hurt
anything?
him. Well, I have to work my way up. I start low, and then
Oh.
I go up high.
Yee, like that?
Yeah, it's. Anyway. All right, we're doing the promo. I'm doing the. There's no
doing
script.
The thing and the other thing.
Yeah, there's no
and-
script. You're doing the X poll.
Am I
Remember what
first?
it is? No, so Gina will start it. Then you.
Okay.
Then I got me, and then you got.
When-
do you
when's
remember
the
your-
X poll?
6:45.
Okay.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
Join us early for the X poll at 6:45. We want you to call in with your celebrity encounter stories, whether they be positive or negative.
At 8 o'clock, Sister Dottie will be by.
And at 9 o'clock, Tuesday Tunes with Todd. That's all on Tuesday. That's why the Tuesday, it's tomorrow, X96.
Nailed it.
All right. All right, that's good enough. I'm looking forward to trying Mauricio's pie.
I'll have it first thing in the morning. In fact, if Bill's not here, what we'll do is a little video of us eating the pie, not with Bill. I'll take that wrath on.
All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know where Bill is?
Am I going to get a piece of that pie?
John Smith is next.
A 1 hour